There's another interesting feature tonight because along with
use the flex on their kickoff teams.
Stagger it up.
Remember, you can't block below the waist this year, so there shouldn't be too many long returns. It's tough to block a man. Anderson across the 25, fumbles at the 28, but after the whistle. Terry Bradshaw and the Pittsburgh offense takes the field. He'll have Big Sidney Thornton for the injured Rocky Blyer and the incredible Franco Harris in the backfield with him. His wide receivers, Stallworth and Jim Smith, with Lynn Swan injured but will play tonight, and Benny Cunningham back from knee surgery, the Giant tight end.
And the stars would indicate those players who weren't in the starting lineup for the Super Bowl.
Mike Webster, the all-pro center, over the ball. Both wide receivers to the right, with Stallworth in the slot. And it's Franco slashing to the 35, a gain of 7.
Let's take a quick look at the fine offensive forward wall of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cove and Sam Davis on the left side. The finest center many say in football. Mike Webster, Mullins, and Larry Brown. Brown, of course, injured a good part of last year. Did not start in that Super Bowl game.
2nd down and 3 for the Steelers, who have not run the ball particularly well this summer, nor have the Cowboys. Both coaches expressing concern over that fact. Quick trap, and it's Thornton up the middle for the first down to the 39. Brunig and Cole made the stop for Dallas.
I think we can expect the Steelers to be showing a lot of running here early in the game, and those are the people who are trying to shut it down for the Dallas Cowboys. Larry Cole and Dave Stalls have taken over on the left side for Too Tall and Jethro Pugh. And of course, Randy White and Harvey Martin. They have a couple of scores to settle. Henderson, Brunig, and Lewis. Fine linebackers on a team that's deep in good linebackers.
Well, this is a game blessed with great linebacking.
Oh, what?
First down, Pittsburgh, 39-yard line. Bradshaw's not thrown yet. It's Harris flipping off his own tackle out to the 44, a gain of 5. So the quarterbacks love that when they get 5 on first down. Defensive backs for the Cowpokes, and they've had to do a little shuffling tonight. Aaron Mitchell, a top rookie pick out of Las Vegas, 2nd-round pick at the left corner, with Benny Barnes moving to strong safety for the injured Waters. Kyle at the other corner, and all-pro Cliff Harris at free safety.
They're going to miss Charlie Waters. They need his leadership.
2nd and 5. Flanker screen to Smith. Brilliantly by Aaron Mitchell, the rookie, and what a hit.
Here in Dallas, they talk about Aaron Mitchell as being cut in the mold of the Steeler cornerbacks. He is mean and he is tough, and he'll hit you. Reads it perfectly. Gets away from Randy Grossman and just puts that helmet right to the rib.
I like the nickname he's already been given by Charlie Waters. They call him AM/PM. You're awake before he hits you, but after he nails you, lights are out. AM/PM, and Mitchell impressive on his first play. It's now 3rd and 10 Pittsburgh. Good protection. Open. Smith. Broken up again by 32, Dennis Thurman, the 5th defensive back, former USC All-American, and the Steelers will have to give up the football.
We'll see Lynn Swan, if you're wondering where he is later in the game, perhaps. He had a freak collision with a goalpost, and he is on the sideline for the first part of this game.
So thanks to that fine play by the rookie cornerback Mitchell, Cowboys are going to get the football. To return, number 22, Wade Manning, did not play football at Ohio State, was an all-Big Ten center fielder. Craig Colquitt, short kick, and a lateral bounce out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So the Cowboys come out of that rather well. First down at their own 22. Roger Staubach, NFL's top passer last year, takes the field. With him, Cowboys have in the backfield Preston Pearson for the injured Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse. The receiving corps for Dallas, Tony Hill had a big year, second season out of Stanford last year. Billy Joe Dupree, the Giant tight end. Drew Pearson, one of the game's best at the other wide spot. From the 22. Staubach now 37 years old. He surely doesn't look it. Newhouse. To the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. 2nd and 9. J.T. Thomas back in uniform, number 24, after sitting out last year with a blood disorder, made the play.
One of the question marks going into last season was the Cowboy offensive line, but late in the year they proved to be a very effective unit. Certainly would like to carry some of that same momentum into this game. Pat Donovan, they consider him their finest offensive lineman. The left tackle, Scott, Rafferty, the guards. Fitzgerald is healthy and excited about that, as is Rayfield Wright, feeling better than he has in several years.
Second down, 9 Dallas. Pearson in motion. Newhouse up the middle to the 29-yard line before he's pinned by Ray Oldham, number 25, playing for the injured Mike Wagner. Wagner not seriously hurt, but is not expected to see duty tonight. Thomas also in on that play.
The Steelers steel curtain, L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green, they've been there forever on that left-hand side. And Steve Burnett, very versatile, very talented tackle in his own right. And, of course, at the right end to be Dwight White, number 78, starting there tonight. And those are some linebackers right there. Lambert, Ham, in a class almost by themselves, and Lauren Taves, a very talented and intelligent linebacker on the right-hand side.
And what backups in Winston and Cole, and they've got two great rookies, too, we'll be talking about. Staubach first toss, complete. First down, Dupree at the 36-yard line. Lambert and Thomas on the tackle.
We really have two classic tight ends. Both Dupree and Cunningham are huge targets. Staubach, of course, back quickly, and he does look younger than his years. Zips that ball right on the money. Dupree controls it, and even though he's got a body tangle all around him, that's J.T. Thomas. He is going to get some extra yardage.
First down for the Cowboys at their own 36-yard line. In his 20th year, Tom Landry. Newhouse and Pearson with Jay Salty, the tight end, in motion. It's Pearson's first carry. And he cuts to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4. Right into the arms of 58 Jack Lambert of Kent State.
One of the real secrets of the success of this defense is the ability of their linebackers. For example, look at Lambert, number 58 in the middle. That's Rafferty trying to get a block on him. He slips the block, stays right with the ball carrier. Preston Pearson tries to get up through there, and he gets Lambert and his fellows right on top of it. Bam.
Merlin, what was interesting about that, Lambert took that little false step to the right, which the offense tried to get him to do to get the blocking angle, but he read it so quickly he was able to get away from the block and make the stop.
Even when he made that little move, he was still strong enough and quick enough to get away from it, as you said, Vic. That's the secret of great linebacking.
Second down, 5. Pearson, no hold at all. Right into the arms of Big Joe Green, number 75, who lives in the Dallas area. Defensive secondary for the men in the black jerseys. Ron Johnson, what a great rookie year at the cornerback last year for the Steelers. The veteran Mel Blunt at the other corner, considered maybe the best man-to-man operator in the game. J.T. Thomas at strong safety. Ray Oldham, free safety for the injured Donnie Shell and Mike Wagner.
They're hoping to have both Shell and Wagner back, but you don't like to miss that kind of talent. Steelers strong enough to seemingly compensate for that. It's amazing that they can do it, Dick.
3rd and 4 from the 42. Blitz. Read well, but Staubach with no time to search out Dupree. J.T. Thomas on the coverage, and both Lambert and Ham right there on Staubach.
One of the things that the Steelers did effectively against the Cowboys in the Super Bowl was the 3rd down blitz, and you saw an example of it there. You just can't give Staubach time to throw the ball or he'll eat you alive.
Lynn Swan waiting his turn on the sidelines. He moved very well in the warm-ups, so we suspect that the great star from the University of Southern California, well, the catches he makes, that one in the Super Bowl last January, just a ballet move. We're going to see that at halftime, by the way. Danny White with a terrific kick. Jim Smith at the 11. Flags down, and so is Smith at the 21. We may have had a block below the waist. 47-yard kick by Danny White.
Danny's back for the first time kicking. He has a broken thumb. They put a smaller cast on. He handled that snap very well, but we'll keep an eye on him. There was the signal.
Holding.
Yep. You saw the arm come out. Somebody just wrapped around. That's very difficult with the new rule. You can't block below the waist, and yet your responsibility in that punt wall is to go down and keep people away from your punt returner. And I'm afraid we're going to see a lot of holding calls until the guys adjust to that.
illegal use of the hands on the return. Number 35, be a first down.
While that new rule will take some of the excitement out of the kick returns, it certainly is welcomed by all the athletes who have gone down with injuries because of those low blocks. We have a timeout in Irving, Texas. The Steelers and the Cowboys, first quarter, no score.
All mufflers are not created equal.
6 minutes gone, first quarter at Texas Stadium. A sellout crowd, no score. The Cowboys and the Steelers. Pittsburgh pinned deep in its own end. Bradshaw sets up camp at his own 7. Sidney Thornton, third-year back out of northwestern Louisiana, 230-pounder, short yardage. Larry Cole made the play for Dallas.
When you're pinned back to your goal line, you of course don't want to make a mistake. Quite often you'll want to run a conservative play, and you'd obviously go to your big back, and I'm sure that that's what Terry was thinking. He handed it off to Thornton. Of course, the Cowboys were thinking to step ahead and pinned him down for virtually no gain.
Give him a yard, 2nd and 9. Stallworth left, Smith right. Split Thornton and Harris left right behind Bradshaw, and this is Franco Harris. Finds a little daylight, gets out to the 12 or 13-yard line. Buried by white jerseyed Cowboys, spearheaded by Bob Brunig's charge. Brunig a good one in that middle line backing spot.
Well, you look across at these defenses. We could talk about talent all night, but the balance of these two defensive teams is frightening. They don't give you any weaknesses to probe. And of course, the secret of that flex defense is that they spread you out so far that very often they've got more people there than you have blockers, and you can't get anywhere against them.
3rd and a short 5. Harris to the 15, and the Steelers will have to kick it. Thomas Hollywood Henderson, number 56, made the hit. Henderson, who has formed his own company now. Things are going rather well. He's called it Hollywood 56 Productions. Thank you.
Well, now if he could just capture that on film, he'll be in business.
You better keep your eyes open. You might run into him on the prairie there.
Listen, I hope he's not after my job.
Deep to return is Wade Banning. At the 40 is Colquitt, who had the best net yardage of any punter in the NFL last year, over 35 yards net per kick. That two-step approach, and I don't think they'll ever block one of his. That one is offline, out of bounds near midfield, and Dallas will get it at the Pittsburgh 49. Timeout. Cowboys in Pittsburgh territory, no score. You have to go for Greenwood, Green, and Ham.
And with Lambert filling from the inside. not a bad quartet.
2nd and 9. Staubach to throw. He's 1 for 2. Great catch at the 39 by Preston Pearson. What hands! The former Steeler, and now they say no, he trapped the ball.
Try and give you a look at it. Staubach showing here why he's so valuable as a quarterback. He didn't want to run, but when he has to, he can do it. Now let's watch it, see if that ball does in fact touch the ground. Good angle on it. Did he control it? Did touch the ground before it hit down on top of him there, but looked like he may have wobbled it as he hit the ground.
Well, from that angle, it looked as if it was a clean catch, but it was difficult to tell.
Well, the official deck was right on top of it. Our angle won't always give you a clean view. Let's take a second look at it. Now, there's no question he touches it before it touches the ground. But I think the question is, did he lose control right there? And I think maybe he did. Maybe he didn't have it locked up when he hit the ground with it.
Nevertheless, what an effort by Pearson.
Pearson catches them in and out all over the field. He's probably their most valuable receiver on a third down situation.
They had 47 catches last year to lead the Cowboys. 3rd and 9 out of the shotgun. Lots of time. Open man Tony Hill short of the first down as he's drilled by Robin Cole at the 41. It'll be 4th and 2. And Tom Landry's decision will be to punt.
Well, two things. First, you wouldn't think that a receiver would check up short on a third down situation like that. But the other thing that bodes a little bit of bad news for the Steelers, Roger has plenty of time to throw that football. And as I said earlier, you give him time, and he'll get the ball down there for the first downs, and he'll give you fits.
Danny White is playing with a heavy wrap on that fractured right thumb, so he may have difficulty handling the snap. You see the bandage. Jim Smith, who has never fair caught a punt yet, 46 in a row. The other end, he'll let this one go. Into the end zone away from Benny Barnes. First down, Pittsburgh at the 20. So far, no score. The Steelers and the Cowboys. 5 minutes left, first quarter. And the Steelers, no score. Pittsburgh ball at their own 20. Thus far, the American Conference teams showing some strength over the NFC. 24-15 advantage. And so it was in the Super Bowl result last January. Bradshaw 1 for 2 for a -5 yards. Has Lynn Swann in the game for the first time. Give to Thornton. Accelerates out to the 24. And as they unpile, the last jersey up belongs to 56 Thomas Henderson. Also into the play, 53 Bruning.
I don't know what you feel, but my feeling the early going, I like watching two big heavyweights out there, and they're just kind of popping a little bit right now. They really haven't started to throw the heavy leather, but I think we're going to see it before too long. It's just too much talent on these two teams not to get some fireworks going in this ball game.
Well, you wonder if both coaches are going to insist upon establishing that running game. Well, Bradshaw going to throw 2nd and 6. There's Swann. First down at the 39. Aaron Mitchell and Benny Barnes collaborated on the stop.
That's nice. We asked for fireworks. We get instant cooperation from Bradshaw and Swann. I think probably the most graceful receiver in all of football. Number 88, Lynn Swann. Just smooth, great acceleration, and loves to go up after that football. A lot of receivers won't go into the air after it. They know they're vulnerable. Swann loves it. He goes up there, and if you hit him, fine. He'll take it.
Now Lynn takes a breather, and Jim Smith in for him. Swann 1 catch away from his 200th reception. He's only played 5 years. Good position for the Steelers. Harris jitterbugging, looking for a hole. There was none. He gains a couple. Harris, one of the many stars in this game. He needs only 1,002 yards to pass Joe the Jet Perry and be the number 4 rusher all time.
Dick, in talking to Terry Bradshaw earlier today, one of the interesting things he told me was that he said during the preseason, he said, we haven't played that well. But he said, I saw things this year that I've never seen before. And I think I saw him because I was more relaxed than I've ever been. If he plays much better than he did last year, a lot of people are going to be in trouble.
Isn't it nice to know when you're good? Bradshaw.
Oh, beautiful play.
Oh. Stallworth at the 45 and picking up blockers to the Dallas 36, first down. Bradshaw and Stallworth, they connected for 2 touchdowns in that Super Bowl.
One of the things that's been so exciting about Dallas is timing patterns, and yet that play was thrown before it looked like Stallworth was even going to make the cut onto the sideline. Bradshaw not only had to throw it earlier than he wanted to, but he had to hang the ball because it had to stay in the air a long time. What a beautiful play.
And we have our first injury of the game, a Dallas Cowboy wounded and screened from our view. Appears to be one of the defensive backs. Aaron Kyle, 25. Hurt on the play. 22-yard gain from Bradshaw to Stallworth. So as they tend to the cornerback from Wyoming, let's break for this important word. No score. Pittsburgh driving first quarter.
Hey, Fred.
Good news for the Cowboys. Kyle does not appear to be seriously hurt. Wade Manning, the rookies, replaced him at right corner. So 2 rookies facing Bradshaw at the corners for Dallas. First down at the 41. Harris to the 35. Actually, the line of scrimmage, the 36-yard line. He gains 1 to the 35. D.D. Lewis in his 11th year out of Mississippi State, number 50 for the Cowboys with the hit.
Franco Harris over the years, probably the most effective cutback runner that I've seen. And if you're going to run effectively against that flex defense, you have to be able to cut back. You're not going to outrun them to the outside. Pittsburgh has had success with it, but the Cowboys are doing an excellent job of shutting down the run. Don't have a number on them, but I doubt if they're averaging more than about 2.5 a carry.
Bradshaw in a passing situation, 2nd and 9. Deflected. It was intended for Stallworth or Cunningham. It was Stallworth coming back to meet it. Thomas Henderson leaped high in front of the pass and deflected it away, and he thought he had an interception.
And there's a penalty. There's a flag downfield. Bradshaw, again, we talked about the mobility on the other side of the line. These quarterbacks very similar. Early in their careers, both did a lot of running. Now they only run when they have to, but they still can run effectively. Bradshaw, I think, just threw a bad pass. Looked like Thomas Henderson very upset with himself that he didn't come down with the interception.
But the penalty is against the Cowboys. Personal foul against Dallas, says referee Bob Frederick. And it's a first down, Pittsburgh at the 20. Mean Joe Green. When he smiles, it's hard to imagine how anyone could call him Mean Joe.
Took most of the team to dinner at his house. He lives in Dallas, and his mother and wife cooked up quite a feat for them last night.
Now the Steelers, deepest penetration of this game, and it's Harris plowing for 3. Brunig there to meet him head on. 50-year man out of Arizona State. You know, the coaches, they give various one-word lines to describe a player, and if you're a Bob Brunig, you have to like what they say. Competitive. What a nice way to express a man's talent. Competitive.
He's a very intense young man, and carries tremendous responsibility in that defense. Must call the defenses, must call all the shifts. The Cowboys play certainly one of the most complex, if not the most complex, defensive system in football.
Bradshaw audibilizing 2nd and 7 at the 17. Play action to Harris. Smith to the 6-yard line.
Sidney Thornton all by himself in the end zone, had himself on the heavens. Here I am, Terry, you missed me. But of course, Bradshaw looking at his first receiver, then to his second, able to get that one off and put it right on the money. And Jim Smith has done a good job when he's had a chance to play. Doesn't get many opportunities, but as you saw there, has good hands, runs some good patterns.
Aaron Mitchell with good coverage. He was right on him. It was a good throw. First and goal for the Steelers outside the Dallas 6-yard line. A minute left in the first quarter, no score. And Bradshaw again appears to be changing his play at the line of scrimmage. Thornton to the 3-yard line and almost lost the football when Kyle, 25, back in the game, made that second hit.
Very dangerous when the back goes for that extra yardage. Often he's bouncing off and that ball comes loose a little bit. You'll see it here. Thornton getting some excellent blocking from Larry Brown. Turns the corner. That's 53, Brunig right there. And on the outside, the other linebacker, Henderson, putting a stick on him. Aaron Kyle coming in. Watch him as he bounces around there. That football did just about pop loose and get away from him.
Thornton picks up 3, 2nd and goal at the 3. Harris right to the goal line, but not in. Sacked up by David Stalls and company. Stalls, number 65 from northern Colorado, taking the spot left by Jethro Pugh, who is retired after 14 great years as a Cowboy. Stalls quite an interesting guy, studying shark research, behavioral study on sharks, and would like to do his master's work in that area.
Chuck Noll, of course, would love to see his team punch it in. I think he'd like to see him punch it in on the ground, too.
Well, we'll have to see them from the other end of the field, because that's the end of the first quarter here in Irving, Texas. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
The Grand Olds Gang's great year-end drive-away.
Part of Super Steeler Weekend, Sunday at 1 on Channel 11.
Texas Stadium sold out, second quarter. And Pittsburgh trying to culminate an 80-yard drive with a score. It's 3rd and goal at the Dallas 1. This is the 11th play of this series. Harrison Thornton behind Bradshaw. Touchdown. Franco Harris, and he knows the way.
Dick, the Pittsburgh Steelers will run more traps on you than any team in football. That particular play, they trapped with the flanker coming in from the outside. Look at Randy Grossman. Look at him coming in, dives right to the inside, and actually becomes a trapper, opens the way, gets room for the back to go in. Another angle of it. Watch the trap on Stalls. No, not on Stalls, on Brunig, right there. He got onto the inside. Webster's in there to give him some room, able to pop to the inside.
And again, Harris getting that little extra block from Grossman to score. Now the point after by the rookie Matt Barr is good, and the Steelers lead it 7-0. Hold on, a flag is down. Harris, by the way, will start the regular season with 61 rushing touchdowns, only 5 men in NFL history with more. There's the man who beat out Roy Girella. The kick is good. It's 7-0.
Defense, 12 men.
Well, even against the 12-man defense, Barr, the rookie, got it through. Before the game, we talked with several of the Steelers and the Cowboys about their afterthoughts of Super Bowl 13. One of those was the most valuable player, Terry Bradshaw.
The thing I remember most about the Super Bowl was how excited I was to play in the game because it was a part of history, one of the two teams, and also the fact there was a tremendous amount of pressure, and I couldn't wait for the game to be over with so that we could get rid of it.
You gotta love him. You gotta love him. Well, he led his team to be the first three-time champion of the Super Bowl, and he has every right to celebrate that.
You know, and you put it in perspective as to the greatness of this quarterback, Bradshaw, when you realize that since World War II in the modern era of the National Football League, only 2 other quarterbacks have won 3 National Football League championships. And that would be Bart Starr and Otto Graham, and Terry Bradshaw, fairly select company. 7-0 Pittsburgh, an 80-yard drive in 11 plays. Barr, whose kickoffs have not been long, gets it to the 10-yard line. Manning hit at the 19, and Larry Anderson drags him down right there. Good play.
One of the things that Chuck Noll has wanted to improve over the last 2 years is his special teams play. He got better special teams play last year, and he's getting some fine special teams play tonight.
Franco Harris with a touchdown to give Pittsburgh the 7-0 lead early in the second quarter. So far, Pittsburgh with 19 plays, Dallas with 9, and that touchdown drive was so typical of the 78 Steelers' success. How many times they scored on long, sustained marches. Staubach to throw on first down. Wobbly pass, but on the money. Tony Hill, 9 yards to the 29. Check that, Drew Pearson with a catch. Flag is down.
You hear the official saying hold the spot. Quite possible that the penalty will go against the Steelers. Again, you see that Staubach has time to throw the football, and certainly that's not good news for Steeler fans who'd like to see a better rush than that tonight.
Talking with Dupree of the Cowboys, so apparently it's the Dallas choice. And you go back to that catch by Pearson with all the superlatives due one Lynn Swann, but how easy it is to forget how outstanding Pearson has been with the Cowboys in his 6 years.
Defensive holding, number 56, the defense refused. First down.
Robin Cole apparently had a hold of someone. Speaking of Robin Cole, talking to the Pittsburgh coaches, they felt that he was perhaps the most impressive of their linebackers in training camp. Now, when you got a Jack Ham and a Jack Lambert on your squad, that's a little scary.
Certainly is. Cole out of New Mexico in his 3rd year. Gain of 10 yards for Staubach in that last to Pearson. And Lois Blackwell, number 24, and his knee drilled by Robin Cole. Oh, right out of the textbook.
Do you think he heard us talking about him? We talked earlier about a fine hit on a screen on the other side. Let's watch Robin Cole. Quickly reads it to the outside. Now watch the acceleration as he just comes up. Gets good position on Blackwell. Hits him head on and then takes a foot out from underneath him. Staubach, of course, doing a little acting here. Waits until the last minute. Dumps it off. And you should have some room. But Cole took it away from him. Very aggressive play by the linebacker.
A loss of 3 back to the 26. Newhouse, and it's Cole again. Number 56, Robin Cole, makes back-to-back plays in the Dallas backfield.
We just saw the acceleration in the play against the pass. Now watch him beat the double block right there. Slips inside that one. Actually got inside both blocks and is right on top of Newhouse before he can even get around the corner. And I'll tell you, Newhouse a hard back to get on the ground. Cole wasn't giving him an inch.
You once described Newhouse when you tried to tackle him as a 215-pound shot put.
I tell you, I couldn't find anything to hang on to when I got there. Cole must have long arms.
At least bowling balls, you got those 3 holes, but that shot put a little tough to drag down.
Sure is.
He didn't have his speed up that time, and Cole seeming to enjoy his chance to display his stuff tonight.
Well, there's several people in it. We'll talk about another one in a second, Dick.
So 3rd down, 15 for Staubach out of the spread. Good protection. Flag down. Pearson, and at the 35 and wrapped up by Jack Ham.
Another three-man rush, Dick, and they didn't get much pressure, but I think someone had a hold of one of those defensive linemen. Let's watch Drew Pearson, not Preston Pearson. Again, very fluid receiver, but he makes a mistake on this play too. Doesn't have the depth for the first down. Certainly, he's not going to be very happy. I see what he's doing. He's coming back to Roger. Roger's in trouble, and he's making a fine play. Can't blame the man for that. He's coming back to help his quarterback.
Merlin holding against the Cowboys, and Pittsburgh undoubtedly will decline and force Dallas to punt. Let's get the word from the referee.
Offensive holding, number 60, refused. 4th down.
Tom Randall, number 60 for Dallas. Drew Pearson, in his 6 years in Dallas, how good has he been? Averaged 47 catches per year and has never missed a game. You know that he was a quarterback in high school, the same high school Joe Theismann attended back in New Jersey. He was the quarterback that followed Theismann.
Certainly one of the people that Pittsburgh would have liked to have back on their roster, having left from there.
That was Preston.
Oh, excuse me. I thought you were talking about Preston.
Now, Preston had 47 catches last year, and Drew's been averaging 47. So the Pearson boys have had some likeness.
Yeah.
Too much time or a new football?
What do we have here? We talked earlier about the coaches wanting to see some people, knowing they have some choices to make. One of those people, number 62, Dwayne Board, a rookie, who's playing right end right now for the Steelers. And one of those other people who's fighting for a job, 60, Tom Randall, who was called for that penalty just a few moments ago.
Danny White's kick. Jim Smith at the 29. Good return out to the 42 in Pittsburgh with excellent field position. Timeout at Texas Stadium. 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Pittsburgh with the ball and the lead, 7-0.
I've got something here you're really going to love. Trust me. It's new Wonder Bond glue. With Wonder Bond, you can glue glass, china, plastic, or metal in just seconds. And 1 drop of Wonder Bond is strong enough to hold up to 5,000 pounds. You still don't trust me? Then trust this. It's from Elmer's. Stick with a name you can trust. New Elmer's Wonder Bond.
This Bud's for everybody who helps keep our country on the move.
This Bud's for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Well, tomorrow on Sports World at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and those of you in Los Angeles at 4 o'clock, the rest of you check your listings as you'll want to be in on that light heavyweight bout from Rahway State Prison. James Scott, the inmate, against Ennio Cometti of Italy. 10 rounds, light heavyweights, and you'll also see Indy-type cars in the Trenton 150 on Sports World tomorrow. 7-0 Pittsburgh. Bradshaw from his own 42. Long for Stallworth. Oh, what a catch at the 11-yard line. Aaron Kyle made the tackle, and did Bradshaw drop that one right down the well.
Oh, boy. The strength of his arm, very obvious. Drops back, looks him off a little bit at the short receiver, looks back deep, and just lets it fly. And he threw that ball going back, must have been in the air 50 yards. Watch Kyle. Kyle gets a little grab on him before the ball touches his hand. Doesn't even bother Stallworth's concentration. Sucks the ball in anyway, puts it down on the 12.5-yard line.
Here it is again. This says it all. You just can't articulate any better than that. First down, Pittsburgh on a 45-yard play to the Dallas 12. Bradshaw going to the air again. And it's Jim Smith. Out of bounds. No catch. And the former Michigan star unhappy that didn't get both feet down.
That's a tough call for the official, because when the receiver is tackled in the air, he has to try and estimate where that receiver would have hit had he come down with his own momentum. You see right there, he's about on the line, driven out, but in the official's opinion, would have landed out of bounds had he not been tackled.
Aaron Mitchell, the rookie, much publicized with the play at the left corner for Dallas. Butch Johnson shielding the headmaster, Tom Landry. As Bradshaw's 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 12, trying to add to the Pittsburgh 7-0 lead. Franco Harris outside. And wrestled out of bounds at the 8 by Cliff Harris, the 10-year veteran from Ouachita, Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Captain Crash.
Captain Crash. Again, warm night like tonight, we're seeing a lot of different bodies. 76, Larry Bethea on there, along with Larry Cole on that left side. Dallas has had to do some rebuilding. Of course, many of you have followed the exploits of Too Tall Jones as he's departed for a boxing career, and Jethro Pugh, a fine left tackle, retired. Dallas has had some problems filling those 2 spots on the left side of their defensive line.
And then to lose Charlie Waters, their outstanding safety man for the year with a knee injury. Bradshaw, man open, Smith, touchdown. Swans back up Jim Smith. He can get open too. 13-0 Pittsburgh.
Terry Bradshaw just seems to be continuing where he left off last year. Coming out to the outside, throws first with all the power in the world on the last play, and then with all the finesse in the world on that one. Just lofted a nice easy pass to Jim Smith, and Smith knew what to do with it, carried it into the end zone for a touchdown.
The rookie Barr, Matt Barr from Penn State, point after out of Colquitt's hold, and he gets it through. Good job by Colquitt. The snap was not on target. So timeout here in Texas, where the Steelers so far acting as they did last January. They've taken a 2-touchdown lead. It's 14-0 with 11.5 minutes remaining before the intermission.
One higher mileage, Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gasoline mileage of the big 3. Now Chrysler offers a $400 rebate. Make your best deal on these Dodge cars, trucks, and vans, and Chrysler will send you a $400 check. Get a Dodge Diplomat, get a check. Get a St. Regis, get a check. Get a Magnum, get an Aspen, get a Dodge van or a full-sized pickup. And get a $400 check. Check it out at Dodge.
From now until September 30th, participating Arctic Cat dealers are doing it again.
Hey, Sam, what is this about Arctic Cat's trade?
It's a death camp.
Holocaust, the television event that stunned the world, returns to NBC beginning Monday, September 10th.
The Cowboys trailing 14-0 as Barr kicks it off to Wade Manning and Ron Springs, a couple of rookies from Ohio State. Manning at the 16. He can fly and burns it out to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line before Zach Valentine, rookie linebacker for Pittsburgh, makes the stop.
I don't think Manning has seen enough of these kickoff returns to be afraid of what's up in there. He just grabs that football and goes.
That was an interesting all Big Ten outfield last year. You had Kirk Gibson from Michigan State, Rick Leach of Michigan, 2 outstanding football players assigned baseball contracts, and then you had Manning, a baseball center fielder who went to football. Didn't play football at Ohio State. Staubach trailing 14-0. Gets Newhouse at the 41. Got out about the 42. Robin Cole said, "You're not going much farther."
We're getting a third defensive end on the right side. John Banaszak, 76. So we've seen Dwight White, Dwayne Board, and now Banaszak. Looks like George Perlis is looking at his charges, has to make a decision, doesn't know who he's going to part with, and that's tough. This is a sad time in the training camps of the strong teams. They hate to part with those good athletes.
Second down along 5 for Dallas. Up the middle goes Eloise Blackwell for the injured Tony Dorsett, and he's close to a first down. Joe Green with a stop. First man picked by Chuck Noll when he took over as the head coach for the Steelers, and '69 was to select Joe Green #1. And what a list of #1 draft picks for the Steelers down through the years. They have just been incredibly successful with that big pick, and sometimes picking rather late because of their own success. Bradshaw, of course, #12 being another #1. Third and less than a yard. Blackwell, I don't think he made it. Jack Ham led the defensive charge. Banaszak, 76, also in on the pile, along with Furness, 64. Those #1 draft picks, Merlin, 69, it was Green. Next year, Bradshaw. 71, wide receiver Frank Lewis. 72, a man named Frank O'Harris. 73, J.T. Thomas. 74, Lynn Swan. 75, Dave Brown, now a starter with the Seahawks as a safety. 76, Benny Cunningham. 77, Robin Cole. Last year, Ron Johnson. And this year, they think they've got a great one in Greg Hawthorne, running back from Baylor, who's built like Calvin Hill.
Well, last time they used a first-round choice, of course, on a running back was on Franco. And if they could get a third of the productivity out of Hawthorne that they've gotten out of Franco, their draft will be well invested in that young man. They're very happy with him. Great speed, great size. You guessed it right, Dick. They're short. Good play on the defensive part. Dallas shifting there at the last minute. The Steelers shifted with them. That's the advantage of having a veteran defensive team. Against the team with a complicated offense, they raise heck with you, but the Steelers able to shift right along with them.
So apparently the Cowboys will punt it away. White's kicks have been tremendous so far. He had the one good one, but he had the short one the last time.
Well, considering he hasn't kicked for a while, I think they've got to be pretty happy with him.
Good one there. He drills it. Smith lets it go to the 5 and into the end zone for the touchback. So Pittsburgh, leading by 2 touchdowns, owns the football at their 20-yard line. 9 minutes, 13 seconds left. First half, Pittsburgh 14-0.
World. Your best bet would be to do is don't bet against me. You can forget about me losing.
Inmate James Scott puts his undefeated record on the line against Italian light heavyweight champ Ennio Cometti, live from Rahway State Prison tomorrow on NBC.
Around 9 o'clock, Pittsburgh time. Temperature in the high 80s and very humid. Jack Lambert.
Would you buy a car from this man?
If he said please.
Yeah, if he wanted me to.
First down, Steelers. They have a new running back, 33, Anthony Anderson, a rookie, and he gets the call. And just does get back to the line of scrimmage. Anderson, a free agent pick out of Temple, and has been the leading rusher for the Steelers the last 2 weeks.
Neither team has been able to mount a rushing attack tonight. Dallas with 16 yards on the ground, and of course Pittsburgh with a little better with 46. The big yardage tonight, Pittsburgh 96 yards passing, Dallas only 36. So certainly the black jersey Steelers have had the edge not only on the scoreboard but in the statistics in the early going.
Bradshaw has Theo Bell to the left, Smith to the right, Harris and Anderson behind him. 25, 29, make that the 24-yard line as Bruce Huther, third-year linebacker from New Hampshire, number 57, came up to meet the play. Randy White forced Bradshaw out of the cup.
Let's watch Mike Calhoun, 92, rushing against a veteran, number 55, John Cove. Tremendously strong tackle. The young man gets the angle. Watch what Cove does. Pushes him beyond the quarterback. There's no way he can sack him when he's back there. And on top of that, he's on the ground. Then Cove sees his quarterback start to run. He's going to come and get another one if he can. Bradshaw, what's he doing, Dick? Well, he didn't want to take that shot, does he?
He looked like he wanted to make that slide, but he got better of that, too.
Yeah. He'll run when he has to. He can do that.
3rd and 6. No play. It appeared that number 66, Ted Peterson, moved prematurely on the right side of the Pittsburgh line. That's it. Illegal procedure against the Steelers.
Can't pop that hand off the ground. A lot of changes in there. Bruce Huther in on that last play for the linebacking position. Bernick came down with some kind of fever last night. Quite ill. And Landry, of course, not wanting to have any problem, has decided to give him quite a bit of rest tonight.
Offense.
Also number 59, Guy Brown in there, who's, I think, probably one of the best-looking athletes on the field.
The second fastest man on the team, on the Dallas team.
And big enough to be a defensive lineman.
On 3rd and 11, Harris with that quick toss. No room. Kenny Barnes up from safety to bounce him out of bounds at the 21. So the Cowboy defense is held. Craig Colquitt, number 5, comes in as Harris leaves.
Colquitt has not punted very well yet this evening, Dick. Certainly he would like to get a good one away here, backed up as he is to his own 7-yard line. He needs to get a good punt, give that defense a little room to breathe.
Two-step kicker. It'll be a rarity if they ever block one of his. He doesn't take much time at all. Whoa, almost got one there.
Good kick, though.
Manning to his own 28. 30. Look at him go. He's got some running room. 40. 50. One man to beat. Colquitt. And Colquitt gets him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Wade Manning may have just made himself a pair of Dallas Spurs. 60-yard return by Manning, the free agent rookie.
A 51-yard punt. Very often the kicker kicks beyond his coverage. He did there. Larry Anderson came down, took a dive at him. Zach Valentine missed him. And then Wade Manning just shows him his heels. One man who did a great job on this play, Colquitt. Watch him. String it out to the sideline. He knows he's the last man there. And he's going to take as much time as he can. Manning trying to give him a little juke. Colquitt says, no way. I'm taking you out of bounds.
Deepest penetration for Dallas. First down at the 12. 14-0 Pittsburgh. Staubach to Blackwell. And he's to the 7-yard line. Kelsey Greenwood and Dwayne Woodruff, 49 Woodruff on the tackle.
You talk about your saving tackles, Dick. I'll tell you, I bet there's a knot in that kicker's stomach when he realizes that he's got to play the safety role. Colquitt doing a good job of getting position on Manning, and that's the key very often. He knows he can't run with him. Gets position, uses the sideline, and watch him fight desperately down here. He knows that if he doesn't get him, there's a chance he'll go on in to score. That's a fine play.
It really was. He didn't let him get back to the inside. 2nd and 5, Dallas at the 7. Pearson in motion. Newhouse. Spinning inside the 5 to the 3-yard line, and a flag is down. Jack Lambert made the hit for the Steelers. That could have been a motion penalty against Dallas. We'll see. They're talking with the Cowboys. And it's against the Cowboys. That hurts.
Well, you've got a 2nd and 5. You've got beautiful position down inside. You've got all the options in your favor, and suddenly it's 2nd and 10. And then the defense... they shift over and take a lot of the options away from you.
Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the NBC.
This is Channel 11, WIIC-TV, Pittsburgh.
Pearson may have started upfield before the snap. Illegal procedure. It is now 2nd down and a short 10. They lost the 5 yards they gained on 1st down. See if Staubach takes to the air. Cowboys all but facing a 10-man defensive line. Staubach open. Touchdown. Billy Joe Dupree. The big tight end from Michigan State gets the Cowboys on the board.
Wanted to isolate Dupree on number 25, Oldham. You see it right there. Beat him badly. Staubach had the ball on target. Nice rush by Greenwood. Staubach eluding it. Gets himself enough time. Excellent pattern. That's the way. That's precision football right there, Dick.
The 60-yard punt return by the rookie Manning sets up the Dallas touchdown. And now Septien's try for point out of Robert Steele's hold. No good. He missed to the left. He missed only one all last year, but he hooked it to the left, and the Cowboys still trail by more than a touchdown and extra point. It's a 14-6 game. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first half. Pittsburgh to receive the kickoff when we return. A long punt return by Wade Manning, setting up the touchdown. Staubach to Dupree, 12 yards. Missed extra point. It's 14-6. Pittsburgh. Anderson deep to Septien. Hits that one deep. And right through the end zone. I think he had a little extra adrenaline flowing after missing that extra point.
Well, I don't know who'd be more upset, the coaches on the sideline or Septien. He can't be too happy about that one.
Now, last year, only one NFL team scored more touchdowns than the Steelers, and that was Dallas. Dallas had 48 touchdowns. The Steelers and Patriots 46 each. There's the story on that brief Dallas scoring drive.
Looking down on the field, again, more replacements on both sides of the line of scrimmage. This is a hot night here, and these coaches, you can see the moisture on top of the chrome dome right there. Mel Blunt's head, shaved nice and neat.
I don't think anyone likes to play in this kind of humidity. Look at that. Harris thread his way out to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5 before another Harris. Cliff makes the stop.
Two of the replacements we see down there, 66 Ted Peterson, 77 Steve Corson, two of the backup offensive linemen for the Steelers. Talking about backup offensive linemen, one man that they're going to miss who ended in a starting role, Ray Pinney, last year, recovering from surgery back in Pittsburgh, and we'd certainly like to pass on our best wishes to him. Happily, he's going to be fine, and although he'll be out for the year, they'll have him back next season.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be much more serious, and fortunately, Pinney will be able to play again. Harris skipping to the 28-yard line, and only a fine tackle by the rookie Mitchell coming up quickly to meet that run. Kept it to a 3-yard gain. It appeared that Harris had first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Franco Harris, second place among NFL most rushes. Boy, I tell you, he has worked hard. And he's worked hard. I think he can get into 3rd place on the all-time carry list if he continues at the pace he's on through this 1979.
Bread and butter back. They had him in mind when they coined that phrase. 3rd and 2. Thornton and Harris behind Bradshaw. Harris again. And I believe that nose of the ball hit the 30-yard line. Huther made the tackle, 57. And Sidney Thornton, 38. And oh, how Chuck Noll likes the way that kid blocks. He cleared the way for Harris, who is not getting up.
Huther had a great angle on Harris, and he put the leather to him. Some real popping. You give these young men like Huther a chance to play football. He was a free agent out of small school up in Vermont, wasn't it, Dick?
New Hampshire.
Watch the shot, New Hampshire. Watch him right there. He puts that hip right on the shoulder, and he's not going to give Franco any room at all. Looks like that ball bounced down just short. Yes, it is. They marked it short.
There's Huther again. A zoology major at New Hampshire and very strong. He bench presses over 400 pounds. That's a lot of weight for a linebacker.
Well, the other thing, you get a hold of Franco, and having had to tackle him a few times, he is not an easy back to get on the ground. That's a great job by the linebacker.
A tickle short of the first down. It's 4th and an inch as Colquitt will deliver to dangerous Wade Manning. Manning is back at the 30-yard line of Dallas. High and deep. Manning at the 14. 20, 25, 27. Met by Zach Valentine, 54. Impressive rookie linebacker for the Steelers. Timeout. Dallas has the ball again. They scored the last possession. They trail 14-6.
No, even better.
When you say Budweiser, when you say Bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Partisan Cowboy crowd checking that scoreboard. Pittsburgh leading Dallas 14-6. Cowboys break huddle. They have a first down at the 26-yard line. An all-new offensive front. Shaw the center, Lawless and Randall at guard. Frederick and Grimmett are the tackles for Dallas. Newhouse to the 37-yard line. First down, Dallas. And that's got to make Tom Landry a bit happier. That's running the football. That's what he's been making for his team to do.
Excellent job over there as Newhouse gets out of outside. There's some good blocking by that second-team line, a fresh line. Lauren Taves misses the hook right there, has a chance, but Newhouse just has tremendous leg strength. Pulls right out of the tackle, spins away from Robin Cole there, finally put down on the sideline, but not until he had the first down. That's some good running on the part of Newhouse, good blocking on the part of that second-team offensive line.
Ball at the 38, first down Cowboys. Time running out in the first half. Saldi in motion.
Offside.
Staubach, incomplete. Appeared his arm was hit. Robin Cole applying the pressure, and I think Saldi moved upfield too soon before the snap. You heard one of the coaches along the sideline yell out offside.
One of the things that Dallas always has problems with, especially when they're playing a lot of people, is offsides and motion and so forth. Their offense is so complicated that unless you run it constantly in practice and on the field, and the game is a lot different, you have trouble with that kind of thing. And they've had the problems this year early in the year.
Illegal motion on the offense. The number was unreported. Refused. Second down.
It was Jay Saldi, 87.
Yes, it was. You were right.
But incomplete on the pass, so it's 2nd and 10. Chuck Noll, Steelers leading 14-6. 3.5 minutes left before the intermission. We hope you'll stay with us. We have highlights, some of the things that have not been shown yet on national television from NFL films of the Super Bowl highlights. I think you'll enjoy what many feel is the most interesting, exciting Super Bowl of them all. Lots of motion, and then Newhouse gets the ball, and the Steelers get Newhouse. 67, Gary Dunn. Tackle from Miami of Florida. His father and older brother played for the Hurricanes at Miami, and his granddaddy was president of Miami from 1926 to 52. There's the general manager, Vice President Tex Schramm in his box.
But he was hoping that Newhouse would break away, but Dunn did a fine job. He's in there replacing Joe Green, give the veteran a little break. Did a good job of reading the play and an excellent job of hanging on to Newhouse.
Mike Wagner, who is not to play tonight, is in there at the moment, 23. Also Dennis Winston in for Lambert, 53 at middle linebacker. 3rd down 12 for Staubach. Over the middle, Johnson has it at the 49, first down. Johnson, Ron of Pittsburgh, and Oldham made the tackle.
Rather a strange defense as Wagner came right up on Preston Pearson, but Staubach able to find Butch Johnson open, and Johnson makes a great grab reaching down and just slides in under the defenders for that first down. Didn't make it by more than an eyelash.
So first down at the 49-yard line of Dallas. Butch Johnson, who went to University of California, Riverside on a track and field scholarship as a pole vaulter. One of the many finds of the Cowboy coaching staff. Trailing 14-6, Staubach to throw. Going to go long, has a man open. Incomplete. Some contact between Blunt and Butch Johnson, but the official waved it off. Appeared to be a good no call. Blunt, man-to-man coverage. You'll see how that betrayed him in the Super Bowl in some of the highlights at halftime that we're going to show you, but that's really a blessing when you have a man who can cover a receiver one-on-one the way Blunt can, because that means that the other guys can take 2-on-1.
Especially in a blitzing situation, Dick. Whenever you're sending a linebacker, you've got to single up, and it's not easy. That means you have to rely on those cornerbacks to take a fast receiver by themselves and not to let him out alone.
You know, it's interesting. Back in the early 70s, remember how the Steeler fans booed Blunt? They didn't like him. He had some lean years, and now he's regarded as one of the very best.
He'll come right up there and kiss you, too. He's right up on the line here.
2nd and 10 at the Dallas 49. Staubach. That quick whistle that we're going to see this year, although in that case Staubach wasn't going to wiggle free anyway, as Greenwood and Furness sandwiched him for the sack, the first of the night.
The players out on the field now are totally back into football, but during the offseason they get a chance to do some interesting things. Ray Oldham and John Banaszak had an interesting experience in the offseason. We'll let them tell you about it.
Probably the most exciting thing that happened to Ray Oldham and myself during the off-season was when our cart went over a cliff in Puerto Rico. I steered the cart into these what are cowtails or whatever they were, and the cart started tipping and Ray jumped out.
The most thing I can remember is when I bailed out into the water, I looked back up and I saw 6'5", 250 Benazak coming over in the cart, and he had him pinned underneath it, and he was hollering for me to get it off of him. It's hard for a 185-pounder to lift the cart, but somehow I managed, and he crawled out.
I crawled out from underneath it, and I had gasoline dripping on me and everything, but luckily we were both okay. Our golf clubs were bent up a little bit, and Ray, being such a great golfer, he had a little trouble with his game after that.
Well, that's when a water hazard is really ridiculous.
I wonder if they were looking for somebody's golf ball down there.
But you can appreciate that football sense of humor. Now, most folks to say, how could they find that amusing? But that's the kind of thing that brightened up an off season.
That's the athlete's attitude toward injury and pain and disaster of a minor sort is rather interesting. They're so used to confronting pain, to confronting things that a lot of people would find very hazardous, that they find humor in that kind of an incident. And I'm sure that's a story that they'll retell for many years.
I bet it'll get better. We ought to ask them again next year.
We'll give them a chance to retell it next year.
Dallas on 3rd and long at the 42, and Staubach back in the saddle. Needs big yardage. Intended for Tony Hill at the 40. But a little too tall. Robin Cole back deep to help out on the coverage. What a first half he's enjoyed.
Let's take you down on the field. And Staubach, of course, back deep in the shotgun. Watch him as he'll sift through, getting pressure on the outside, moves to an open spot, has time to throw the football, slightly off target. Robin Cole up high, almost had his hands on that long enough to pull it down for an interception. A little bit high on the pass on Rogers' part.
So with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half, Pittsburgh with the lead 14-6 will get the ball. Jim Smith at his own 22 as Danny White kicks it for Dallas. Very high. And it'll go out of bounds, or will it? Stays inbounds. And a Dallas roll.
Oh, boy.
To the 10-yard line.
Benny Barnes standing over that ball, motioning, saying, come on down a little bit further. Smith did a smart thing, though. He was up underneath the ball early, could feel the pressure, thought it was going out of bounds, slipped out. A 48-yard net on the punt. That's a good punt. That puts him down on the 10. Gives the Steelers an awful lot of territory in the minute 37.
Merlin, we were talking about Terry Bradshaw earlier, knowing he was good. How long did it take you? Now, you were an All-Pro many years. There's a time where you hope you'll be good, then you think you're good. Then there's that moment, that marvelous moment when you're secure and knowing, doggone it, I am really good. How long did that take for you? Whoa. Franco Harris, he's known it for a while, out to the 22-yard line and a first down.
Franco gave me some times when I had doubts. I said, am I as good as I think I am? Now, in answer to your question, I think until you've been tested by some of the best. I was lucky enough to go to the Pro Bowl in my rookie year and was shocked, in fact. I didn't think I had played that well in my rookie year. Was able to go there and to play well and to play against the very finest offensive linemen in the NFL and held my own. And I knew then that I could do it. And I knew also that I wanted to be as good or better than any of them. And that was my goal then for the oncoming years.
Now, Bradshaw now just trying to maintain that feeling because he knows he's right there at the top of the football world. Harris reverses his field, and down he goes at the line of scrimmage. Bruce Huther, 57, at middle linebacker, makes another good play for Dallas. Benny Barnes helping out.
We got somebody down on the field. Huther is over there looking. It looks like it might be Guy Brown.
And Franco Harris also slow getting up for Pittsburgh. 33 seconds left in this first half.
I think Franco's enjoying a little break over there. It is a hot and humid evening, and in fact, I had to change a tire on the way out to the stadium, and I looked like I just gotten into a swimming pool, Dick.
And the players saying, even Cliff Harris said last week, game against Houston, he couldn't recall it being so uncomfortable, and it's another night much like that one. Fortunately, the injured Cowboy, Thomas Henderson, just shaken a bit, appears all right. Well, looking ahead, a week from Sunday, it begins. 16-game regular season, and we hope you'll join us every Sunday here on NBC. And we have a doubleheader for you on Sunday, September 2nd. Most of you will see Houston and Washington in the first game. Merlin and I will be in the Coliseum for the Raiders and the Rams in the second game. But plenty of great action, as you can see, in the first week of 16. NFL regular season Sundays on NBC. Pittsburgh with a 14-6 lead, just trying not to make any mistakes.
Three-man rush for the Cowboys. See if they can get some pressure on Bradshaw.
Oh, Anderson. Oh, good acceleration for the rookies across the 25 to the 27. Huther again makes the hit for Dallas.
Randy White is so quick. They were planning on him making a quick move to one side or the other, which he did. They ran to the other side. White went all the way around the center and came back and got a piece of that tackle. He is amazing.
His mom doesn't like that nickname they've...
Manster?
Manster. She says, I just call him Hunk.
Well, I tell you, there's some offensive linemen around the league who have other names for Randy White and also for that man, Harvey Martin. You put two quality pass rushers and two quality defensive linemen like that together, and you create real problem for offensive linemen.
Well, that's like putting Fred Lynn and Jim Rice back-to-back in the batting order. You get around one, you got to face the other. Although Dennis Leonard, as you saw on NBC this afternoon, handcuffed the Red Sox in a brilliant 1-0 victory for the Royals, the hottest team in that American League West at the moment, and trailing the Angels by only 3.5. Next Saturday, it'll be the Texas Rangers who play very near this stadium in Arlington at Fenway Park against the Red Sox. That'll be the key game here on NBC next Saturday. Dallas called that timeout. It's 28 seconds left. Third down. Harris to the 30 and short of the first down at about the 31. Henderson with a tackle. Back in the game for Dallas, and the Cowboys exercise another timeout.
23 seconds left. You got to believe that they'll be coming after this punt. Certainly one of the things Dallas has done very well over the years is to block punts, although Colquitt, as you mentioned earlier, Dick, is a two-step kicker and difficult to get to.
Couple of injury reports, Merlin. Dwight White, the veteran defensive end, and he's battling for a job with the Steelers this summer, has an ankle injury. They're going to examine him at halftime, perhaps x-rays, and the same for Mike Hegman, the Dallas linebacker, big toe that will be x-rayed. Or the toe injury sounds simple enough, but when you're talking about Tony Dorsett and what that might mean to the Dallas season, and it's, as you pointed out, it's really rough to have the toe injury on the carpet.
When you play on this artificial turf, your feet take a real beating, and toe injuries are very serious.
23 seconds left in the half. One man back. Manning, oh, he could have returned that one, but fair catch at the 34. Undoubtedly, Landry said, don't take any chances, fair catch it, and that's what the kid did. So Dallas, with 17 seconds left, has the football at their own 34 and a 36-yard punt.
I think Colquitt was more concerned. He knew the all-out rush was coming, as it did, and he just wanted to get it out of there. That's an excellent punt under the circumstances.
Staubach with chance for 2, maybe 3 plays. Cowboys have used their 3 timeouts, so he'll have to work the clock with the incomplete pass in the sidelines. 14-6 Pittsburgh. So we close out this first half, and we've got Super Bowl highlights for you. At halftime, Dallas played so very well in the second half last week. See how they do tonight.
Strange defensive setup. 3 defensive linemen with a big gap right in the center.
Staubach, little pressure. Little screen to Newhouse. 40, 45 to the 50. But the clock is running. 7, 6, 5, 4. May not get a play off. That's it. Staubach could not get the ball out of bounds. The end of the first half. The score here at Texas Stadium in Irving. The Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers 14. The Dallas Cowboys 6.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm here with a group of young people at the University of Florida campus. You know, you hear a lot of talk about the serious alcohol abuse problems we're having in this country. And so often these problems start because young people make the wrong decisions about drinking. But here's a group that's doing something right. They started a unique program that you should have in your own community or college. It's a student club called Bacchus, and it's working to prevent alcohol abuse problems before they start. These young people are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm here with a group of young people at the University of Florida campus. You know, you hear a lot of talk about the serious alcohol abuse problems we're having in this country. And so often these problems start because young people make the wrong decisions about drinking. But here's a group that's doing something right. They started a unique program that you should have in your own community or college. It's a student club called Bacchus, and it's working to prevent alcohol abuse problems before they start. These young people are helping each other make responsible decisions about the proper use or non-use of beverage alcohol. Start a Bacchus chapter in your community or on your college campus. It's easy, and you can get a free booklet to tell you how. Just write Education Commission of the States, Box 1197, Washington, D.C., 20013. That's ECS, Box 1197, Washington, D.C. Get a Bacchus Club going, and everybody comes up a winner.
Yeah!
Preceding brought to you by the National Football League. Halftime at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys trailing the Pittsburgh Steelers 14-6. And two top plays, as I look back, as Manning's 60-yard punt return set up the Dallas touchdown, and that great pass from Terry Bradshaw to Stallworth that set up a Pittsburgh score.
Certainly, I think not only the great return by Manning, but the fact that the Cowboys were able to take advantage of that break and put 7 points on the board. You have to do that if you're going to be successful. We talk about Manning. I don't think he's found out how tough that job is returning those kicks yet. He may as he goes along, but right now it's great. On Bradshaw, I was amazed. The one thing that amazed me most about that pass, he was still dropping back when he threw that pass and still had the strength to lift that ball about 50 yards in the air. Great concentration on Stallworth's part. I think his passing had to be the highlight for me of the first half.
And, of course, that was the story. Bradshaw and Stallworth, and Bradshaw and his receivers as he threw 4 touchdown passes and over 300 yards passing in the Super Bowl victory. And we're going to see highlights of Super Bowl 13 right after we pause for these words from your local station. Now, Merlin Olsen, you've had a chance to think about that Super Bowl. What sticks out in your mind?
I'll tell you, just watching those highlights and remembering how much excitement and how much adrenaline I pumped, it still is one of the exciting events of my sports life, and I didn't even get a chance to play. I was reminded of one thing watching it. One of the guys that really was a hero for Pittsburgh in that game was Rocky Bleier. And many say that one of the reasons that Pittsburgh has had trouble in the early going this year is because Bleier has strained ligaments. He did not make this trip. They hope to get him back in the saddle soon. But they miss his blocking, they miss his leadership, and they miss his big play ability, which is something that is highly improbable for a guy like Rocky Bleier. But he always comes up with the plays when you need him.
What I remember, other than the 200-pound anchors on my legs so I didn't get blown off the top of the Orange Bowl, was that play involving Benny Barnes and Lynn Swann. And at the time, we all wondered, was it a good call or wasn't it? Well, it's something that Benny Barnes, the cornerback of the Cowboys, has had to live with for a long, long time.
Falling flat on my face and having a flag hit me on my helmet. But then I remember, the biggest thing I remember is having Pete Rozelle apologize and say that it was a bad call in the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm sure that Mr. Rozelle was being empathetic with Mr. Barnes' position. That was a tough call and certainly a key one in that game. You talk to a Dallas fan and they start to list Jackie Smith's near catch and the Benny Barnes play and the freak Jarrella short kick to Randy White, and they say, hey, give us another chance at Pittsburgh. But the Steelers and Bradshaw, certainly until midway in that fourth quarter, much the better team in Miami, and they were the first 30 minutes tonight. And here are the statistics.
Statistics much as we would have expected, although Dallas has come back in the rushing department to 30 yards, but not a respectable night, but certainly better than they were in the early going. 76 yards, making some yardage in the pass. The Steelers with a considerable edge in total yardage, 81 rushing. They've got to be a little bit happier about that than what they've been doing in the early part of the preseason. Of course, 96, much of that in that one big pass from Bradshaw to Stallworth that went in for the touchdown. One thing interesting, no turnovers on either side. Two veteran teams, still preseason, and yet you're not getting a great deal of turnover with the ball. We are seeing some mistakes. We are seeing some penalties, but no turnovers, and that's a good sign for both coaches. One of the things that both Landry and Knoll have said is that they have been disappointed in the rushing game. And you look at the Steelers, and you look at the reliance they put on Terry Bradshaw last year, and the fact that they were so successful, but Chuck Knoll is a smart man. He knows that if Bradshaw should go down, they're going to have to rely on their rushing game. And if they don't have that solid rushing game, and Bradshaw even is hurt for a short while, they might be in real trouble.
Our picture in trouble there for a while. Looked like Mel Blount was going to come from outer space.
There was a ghost coming in there to take advantage of someone.
You know, it's Matt Barr tees it up for Pittsburgh to start the second half. I want to wish Roy Jarrella well. I'm certain that one of the NFL teams will find a spot for the veteran Jarrella. And didn't he say goodbye to the Steelers with class earlier this week? Barr winning the job because he kicks higher, and he gets the ball off quicker than Girella, and I'm sure the Steelers feel that here's a young man that they can count on for many, many years, and that Girella's future is limited, obviously, just as an older player. But Girella didn't badmouth, didn't complain. He just said, for the Steeler fans, be patient with Barr. He'll have some bad days, and be kind to him. Well, he got plenty of leg into that one. Ron Springs at the 3. The rookie from Ohio State at the 15, the 25, and 30 to the 35. And those two Buckeye rookies have returned kicks well for Dallas tonight. Tom Graves, another Big Tenner from Michigan State, made the tackle, number 46. We apologize for the technical problems. Obviously, those are little things you're seeing are not part of our game plan.
A few technical problems on the field that time as some of the on-rushing coverage of that kick got out of lane and opened a popping hole there for Ron Spring. Looked for a minute like he was going to get away and make like Manning earlier in the game.
Spring stays in with Newhouse in the backfield behind Staubach. This is Newhouse. 35 to the 37 as Ham points at one of the Cowboys. He felt that he was blocked illegally and is telling the official so right now.
He had thought that that young man, Ron Spring, had a hold of his jersey, and I think he might have done at that. Of course, if I had to block Ham, I'd get a hold of anything I could hang on to. You talk about Girella, Dick, and I'd just like to make a point. In his final appearance, he kicked 2 48-yard field goals and also put the ball consistently deep into the end zone, or at least close to the end zone. But I think the decision was made on the basis of the future. And they know that Girella could well last a few more years. They'd like to take a chance with Barr, knowing that he'll get better each year.
That's Salty, the tight end, in motion. And it's Ron Springs, 40, and he slams out to the 43, close to a first down. We're trying to correct our technical difficulties that we're experiencing here at Texas Stadium in Irving.
Maybe those machines are getting hot and humid down there. That kind of an evening here.
That's what you get sometimes when you're in the midst of a thunderstorm, and that's what they're expecting here in the Dallas area before the evening is through. We're working on it, and we thank you for your understanding in the problems. Third and a long one for Dallas. It Springs, flag down. Springs has the first down, but I believe the penalty is against the Cowboys. Ray Oldham, number 25, from his safety spot, made the tackle. Bob Frederick with the black cap. Illegal procedure, Dallas, with all the motion that the Cowboys throw at you, and sometimes you get two men moving.
Tight end motion, flanker motion, shifts, double shifts. They used to. Preparing defensively for Dallas is a nightmare for coaches and players, because they'll throw maybe 20, 25 formations at you, and they will absolutely drive you crazy.
Ball at the 38-yard line, third down, 6. Drew Pearson to the right. Butch Johnson split left.
See if that rookie can snap out of this shotgun.
3 wide receivers in there. Tony Hill also. Flag down again. Incomplete at the 47. Rookie Dwayne Woodruff with a good job defensively. The intended target, Tony Hill. No, it was Butch Johnson.
I thought it was a rookie snapping. I thought it looked like Shaw in there, but they didn't trust Shaw to throw that ball back from that shotgun. That was John Fitzgerald popping it back to Arthur Styler.
Of course, that's one of the keys to the success of the shotgun, having a man who can center the ball without looking back through his legs, because if you had to look back, you wouldn't be able to tell defensively what's happening in front of you. And I asked John about that. Holding against Dallas. Decline. And he said in 75, Landry came to him. He said, I'm recovering from elbow and knee surgery. And he says, hey, you better start learning that snap because we're going to use it this year. He said, was the pressure ever on? He said, but I caught on rather quickly. And he said, it wasn't going to be that tough until the first time somebody lined up over him, and he had to not only worry about the snap, but a man he was blocking. I said, who was that? He says, there he is. And he's pointing at you a couple of days ago at practice. He said, then it became a real challenge.
Certainly one of the ways to crack the shotgun.
White slipped as he punted the ball, but still delivered a good kick. Smith at his own 12. 20. And and to the 25. And you can see what that no block below the waist does to those men trying to help out the return man. It just almost muddies the water.
Couldn't see a single black jersey up the field. They were all down there.
Timeout early in the second half. Pittsburgh leads by 8.
We all had athlete's foot.
Yeah, burning, itching, peeling.
The works.
And Desnex helped clear it right up.
Students like these took part in recent clinical studies that once again prove if you've got athlete's foot, don't blame Desnex. More proof on top of years of clinical evidence that shows Desnex is highly effective against athlete's foot.
Desnex really worked for us.
So if you've got athlete's foot, don't blame Desnex.
We offered this $100 bill to anyone who's stronger than Eastman 910 adhesive. Just a drop of Eastman 910 here and here. Pull it apart and the money's yours. There, it's only been 1 minute. For the really tough jobs around your house, put your money on Eastman 910 adhesive. It's stronger than you are.
If the football player can't do it, right, no one can.
Wednesday, move over Travolta. It's Get Down and Boogie time with the hottest disco king in Indiana, Disco Harry, only on Real People.
The Dallas #2 quarterback and punter Danny White had a good evening. That last punt for 50 yards. He's averaged 46 yards on 6 punts tonight. First down, Pittsburgh at their own 25. Their first possession of the second half. Bradshaw to Harris. He almost fouled the ball on the handoff. Was he hit by Hutter?
Bruce Hutter really enjoying his opportunity to spell Bob Brunig in there, has made the most of it as he popped quickly through the line and took Franco back a little ways.
So on second down and long, Dennis Thurman comes in and Hutter out as the Cowboys use the nickel defense. Well, they're doing more and more of that. Now, I used to not see that until third down, but if you have the advantage second and more than 10, you'll see that fifth defensive back come in.
Certainly one of the great innovations of the game, not only 5 defensive backs, but often 6, and applied, as you say, on many more downs now than they were in the past.
Pittsburgh leads 14-6. Harris on the ball, and he is met hard again, right at the line of scrimmage by Guy Brown, 59 from Houston, his third year. 6'4" and 228, and he runs a 4.6.
He's certainly got all of that. 4.6 goes up inside. You see the trap right on there, right on Martin there. But Brown, up to close the hole as he must when that end is trapped, just drops Franco back into the backfield. He made about a half a yard. Third and long. Let's see if Bradshaw can take advantage of this opportunity.
So Brown taken out, and the 6th defensive back is in now for Dallas on 3rd and 11. Bradshaw's thrown the ball well. Intercepted and dropped. D.D. Lewis had it. His own man seemed to interfere with his chance.
Aaron Mitchell, they had double coverage on Randy Grossman. The ball didn't get near Grossman. It looked like Mitchell, not knowing who had a hold of it, is going to strip it out of his teammate's hand. Watch Bradshaw now. His first bad throw of the night. He's under pressure. Puts the ball to Grossman. You see it right there. Lewis has it. I guess he didn't strip it out. He just bumped into him, and Dede unable to hang on to that football. They're going to have to kick it away. Wade Manning, he'd like to get a hold of it, get another 61-yarder.
He's been charging downfield like going after a line drive as a center fielder. The all Big Ten Ohio State center fielder, and had the big play for the Cowboys first half. Kick toward the near sidelines and out of bounds in front of the Steeler bench. At about the 40-yard line. It will be the 40 that Dallas will put it in play. Timeout, 11:23 remaining in the third quarter. Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 6.
The river's running high and wild to someplace you've never been. Carving a path out of the earth. Whitewater. Alive, free, and you can never tame it. But for the chance to ride the rolling thunder and feel the power of freedom, you go for it. Making the most of now, from the life you live to the beer you drink. And since 1849, the beer that makes the most out of life is Schlitz. That's why every day, millions of times a day, America reaches for a Schlitz.
When you're making it beer, make it this one here. Schlitz makes it great.
Go for it.
On NBC Sports World, inmate James Scott puts his undefeated record on the line against Italian light heavyweight champ Ennio Cometti, live from Rahway State Prison. Plus, tape coverage of the Clark Trenton 150 auto race, all on Sports World tomorrow.
Reminder tomorrow, Sports World will take you inside the prison. Rahway State, James Scott, fine light heavyweight. The prisoner against the Italian champion Cometti. That's on Sports World along with the Trent 150 Indy type cars. Here, Pittsburgh leads Dallas 14-6. Cowboy ball at their own 40. Fake to Springs. Wide open is Hill. To the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. 20 yards for the Cowboys. Hill in front of Mel Blount for the catch. Nicely executed.
We talked about the solo ability of Blount. Well, Hill did a fine job of fooling Blount completely on that play. Look at the amount of distance he has between himself and the cornerback. Able to not only to control the pass easily, but get some extra yardage in the process all the way down to the 30-yard line, or the 40-yard line.
Tony Hill, as a second-year man, caught 46 last year from Holly High School in Long Beach. He followed Gene Washington, broke his records in high school, and followed Gene to Stanford and broke his collegiate marks. Newhouse noses down at the 39-yard line as Jack Ham. Could be an all-pro as a strong safety or a tight end, they say. They just hunt and hunt through those films each week trying to find a mistake that number 59 might make, and they're still looking. 6'1" and 225, and out of high school was drafted by only one team, VMI. But elected to go to Penn State. The scholarship opened at the last minute. Boy, cotton candy, that'll really stick to you tonight in this humidity. 90 degrees and about 90% humidity.
Whoa.
Fumbles. Staubach. Did he recover? Boy, and Roger had to show some courage diving into the teeth of about 4 on-rushing Steelers to keep that ball in the possession of Dallas.
Terry Bradshaw has to rank as the performance leader of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the emotional leader is the man who just made a great play on that last go-round, Mean Joe Green. Met the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage, hit him hard enough to shake that ball loose. Septien's got his cage there on the sideline. You see him kick? I guess he kicks into that, warm himself up. They must think they're getting down close to field goal range.
Or if he's not doing well, he may hide in there.
Yes.
You've seen plays, times when kickers would like to find a place. 3rd down and 14 out of the shotgun. Staubach. Preston Pearson. 35. 30. First down at the 28. Preston Pearson, basketball star, Illinois, and how he can handle those receptions.
The Dallas Cowboys had an amazing ratio of 3rd down completions successfully for 1st down last year. They pick it up here. Preston Pearson, the man they love to go to in this situation. A gifted receiver and can run like a halfback, which he is once he gets his hands on the football. He knew where he had to get that 1st down. Got down there, picked it up. Dallas still moving down the field. They'd like to get a TD here.
Oldham finally made the tackle. 14-6. The Cowboys trail the Steelers midway through the 3rd period. Staubach on 1st down to the air, away from Joe Green. Could be intercepted. Blount has it at the 1-yard line. Mel Blount, who is second all-time in Steeler history with 39 career interceptions, second only to Jack Butler's 52, picks off an easy one.
Watch Staubach here. Joe Green comes around from behind, beats the block, dives right there, and it's got Staubach's foot. Roger, I'm sure, would like to take that one back as he threw off balance, delivered the ball off target. Mel Blount there to pick up the reception, had his feet on the 1-yard line. You get a chance here to see, look how off balance Staubach is. I think he would love to take that one back. One of the rules, you never throw it when you don't know where it's going. Not Butch Johnson, but Tony Hill coming over and doing what he had to do, which is to put Blount on the ground. Mark it at the 1. Pittsburgh will have it there.
With that, Joe Green made the play, and he'll tried to come over and break up the pass. He was suddenly cast in the role of being the defender. But the good news for Dallas, they have Pittsburgh pinned at the 1. And only a yard gain for Harris as he slams off right tackle. And a little extracurricular activity.
We said earlier that there was a little extra feeling between these two teams, and that's the young rookie Aaron Mitchell that would like to have that reputation as a bad one, and he's piling on him tonight. Bruce Huther, watch him come from the inside. He's made some brilliant plays from the inside in relief of Bruning tonight, and that's another one right there. Franco Harris, one of the toughest backs to bring down in this situation that I know of. There you see the action in the background.
T.O. Bell, 83, T. Bell of Pittsburgh, and Mitchell engaged in a little push and shove. Ball at the 2, 2nd and 9. Bradshaw has a rookie, 33 Anderson, in the backfield along with Harris. And they give to the veteran. Harris gets it to the 5. David Stahl, 65, the defensive left tackle, made the hit for Dallas.
Give yourself a little room down there. You don't want to have to punt right from that end line. Now they've got a little room to work with. Even if they don't make a gain on this play, Dick, they've got room to get it out of there.
Yeah, both starting fullbacks in this game have kid brothers that are going to be starters and stars in college this year. Pete Harris, the younger brother of Franco at Penn State, a defensive back, and John Newhouse, Robert's younger brother, will be a starting running back at Houston. From deep in his own end, it's Bradshaw, wide open, Grossman. Grossman was open. He had split Harris and Thurman, but the pass too long.
And I saw Cliffy Harris look back at his linebackers and say, hey, guys, one of you is supposed to be covering this tight end coming up through here. Here's Bradshaw dropping into his own end zone. He's so confident he doesn't care where he's throwing that ball. But watch him. Wide open, just overthrown just slightly. Harris trying to come over and help, but he was late. If that ball had been on target, it would have been big yardage.
Well, that intended target, Grossman, what a job he did last year when Cunningham was hurt. Caught 37. Colquitt under pressure. He delivers a good kick. Manning all the way back to his own 45. 50. Boy, he's got some speed. Out of bounds at the 45. So Dallas in Pittsburgh territory, trailing by 8 with a timeout. 7:32 left in the third quarter. Pittsburgh ahead, 14-6.
I got my start playing golf driving a tractor.
Arnold Palmer, back home in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
My father was pro here, but before he taught me to play golf, he taught me to treat the equipment right. So we used Pennzoil, and I think that old tractor of ours lasted 30 years or more. Look, if Pennzoil and I hadn't taken good care of the equipment, I might have never gotten on the golf course.
Pennzoil, America's asked-for motor oil.
Harry worked overtime to get out this report. He needs a deodorant that works overtime.
George worked overtime to get ready for the game.
He needs a deodorant that works overtime.
Old Spice Stick deodorant works overtime. Only Old Spice Stick gives you both 24-hour protection from odor plus that famous Old Spice scent.
Greg's been working overtime on this new step.
Good thing my Old Spice Stick deodorant works overtime, too.
Old Spice Stick, the deodorant that works overtime.
Sellout crowd on a humid night. 65,000 fans in Irving, Texas Stadium. Score 14-6. The Steelers in the third quarter. 7.5 minutes remaining. Dick Enberg with Merlin Olsen. The Steelers scored their 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Harris on a 1-yard run. Staubach to Jim Smith, an 8-yard pass. Check that Bradshaw to Smith, and Staubach to Dupree, a 12-yard touchdown for the only Dallas score. Just missing connections with Drew Pearson is Roger Staubach. The extra point try by Septien was wide after the Dallas touchdown, accounting for the 14-6 score. Dallas, after the punt return by Manning to the 45 of Pittsburgh, trying to get closer to the Steelers.
First down pass and a classic example of man-on-man coverage. Ron Johnson had a brilliant rookie year last year, playing the man all the way until he reached for the ball, able to reach up, tap it away. Drew Pearson, of course, unable to control it. 2nd and 10.
Newhouse and Springs in the backfield with Staubach. Hill and Pearson the wide receivers. That's Hill in motion. Ron Springs, big hole, 40. 35, first down at the 33. Fifth-round draft pick out of Ohio State, Ron Springs. The leading rusher and receiver for the Buckeyes as a junior, but hurt as a senior.
A couple of old veterans over on that right side. Rayfield Wright, L.C. Greenwood. Rayfield got the best of that one as he was able to take L.C. to the inside and open a big hole. That's number 59 on the outside, trying to get back in to fill it, but there was just too much room. Couldn't make it. Jack Ham just unable to catch up on that one.
So first down Dallas at the Pittsburgh 33. And apparently they want a new football. Now why does that occur just at that point? Was it because the center the Cowboys requested the change, or did the official see something?
Quite possibly the ball is wet, and the center has the option of asking for a new ball if the ball is wet. It is awfully humid down there, and the hands are getting a lot of perspiration on them. Now, what do we got? Timeout, Dallas.
Now the Cowboys spend a timeout that could prove expensive at the end of the game. We pause for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is Channel 11, WIIC-TV, Pittsburgh.
55-year-old Tom Landry expresses his disappointment across the way. Now in his 20th year, the dean of the NFL coaches, and the 5th winningest ever, 161 victories since he took over. And that first year was not a very pleasant one for Landry. No wins, 11 losses, and they rejoice over at least a tie.
I think both of these franchises started their drive to the top in the same way, by taking their lumps. But there's something very exciting about what they did after that. They kept their sights on where they were going. They put together solid coaching staffs. They went out looking for good talent. They built themselves a store of that, and gradually have come to the top, and year in and year out maintain that consistency. And they do it with intelligent leadership, with good athletes on the field, and by never allowing themselves to lose track of where they're going.
And they keep their players home and do it themselves. Pittsburgh, Ray Oldham is the only non-Steeler draft that's on that Pittsburgh squad right now. And quickly, Dallas, among those you figure that will be with the team next week from Sunday, you have Preston Pearson, former Pittsburgh Steeler, and the kicker Rafael Septien. So you don't have contamination of thought from other organizations.
A single thought, no question about it.
And next Sunday, week from tomorrow, it all begins. 16 games, and we've got some dandies here on NBC. Most of you will see the Oilers and the Redskins in the first game, and the Raiders and the Rams in the second half of that doubleheader. After the timeout, first down Dallas at the Pittsburgh 33. Saba throwing a lot on first down. Newhouse to the 25, 8 yards. Jack Ham made the tackle. Newhouse has survived a near-fatal auto accident when he was a junior in college. Second-round pick. Been 8 years now with the Cowboys in the corral. Replaced one of the popular players in Dallas history, Walt Garrison. 2nd and 2. Pittsburgh leads 14-6. Cowboys seem to have some momentum going in this third quarter. Springs. Close to a first down. John Banaszak, drafted out of Eastern Michigan, a free agent in '75, made the tackle from behind. He apparently has won that job at defensive right end from Dwight White.
Well, White injured tonight, and certainly one of the things that defensive coaches for Pittsburgh have to be looking at is who they're going to keep among those defensive linemen. They want to keep a mixture of youth and experience. Banaszak certainly has played well. Dwight White being injured tonight might possibly make him a candidate for injured reserve if that injury is serious. We're not sure of that.
Short of the first down, third down Dallas. Inside the Steeler 25. Give it to Newhouse. Well, he wanted it. On one leg, he went popping through that right side for the first down at the Pittsburgh 22.
These are two football teams that can sustain the drive, and you see one of the reasons why here. Newhouse gets some excellent blocking, but there's just no way you're going to stop him. That's Ham hitting him right at the ankles. Newhouse goes up over the top and still has enough momentum to bounce out there for that first down. He's just like trying to hit a truck.
Put thighs on him. He has to buy a 36-inch waist pants, even though his waist is only 31. There he goes again. To the 10, all the way to the 4-yard line. And he used those oversized thighs to good use there, breaking a couple of tackles. First and goal, Dallas.
Newhouse and Thornton, Sidney Thornton, built much the same way. And what a tremendous advantage that low center of gravity is here. He gets a good cut, too. Reads the opening well. Bounces back. Some good blocking. Pulls out a one tackle there. Spins away. Maintains his balance. Trying to get a hold of him here. That's, who's that, 29?
Ron Johnson with a ride.
Trying to get a hang on him. Not until he gets way down to the 4-yard line.
Salty in motion. First and goal inside the 5. Newhouse. Ooh. And he fumbled. Recovers. Ever alert stall. That's twice he saved the Dallas Cowboys on this drive.
That's exactly right. No question. Watch it here. They stacked it up hard on the inside. Burnett 64, Dunn 67, and Banaszak really stops it up in the inside. Coming over from the top, they've just banged the ball loose. Ball pops loose. Watch it there. And it looked like Pittsburgh had it for a while. In fact, they're signaling it. But it rolled out, and Staubach is always in that game. He's the one that dove down and got it. And that was 78, Dwight White, who was in there playing on the other side, who shook that ball loose.
Might have been L.C. Greenwood.
68, yeah.
So a loss for the Cowboys. Second and goal from the 8. Plenty of time. Springs. Touchdown, Dallas. A scramble throw by Staubach. Something he has done so many times as the Dallas leader.
One of the secrets to Staubach's success over the years, his ability to scramble when he has to. Used to do it more often than he will now. But right here, he knows he's got to make something happen. He can run it, but he stops, flips a quick pass to the inside. Springs takes it. He knows where that goal line is. The young man doing very well for himself tonight.
Septien's try for a point. Steele to hold. That one right down the middle. So, a one-point game and plenty of time to go. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Dallas has drawn within 1.
I'm fixing up your house, Bozo, with tough paint this time. Right, Dad?
Lucite's plenty tough. It resists peeling and cracking.
How come?
For one thing, it's got mica.
Mica?
Mm-hmm. Mica's a mineral that reinforces the paint by forming overlapping plates to help make a tough seal. So it resists peeling and cracking.
He means Lucite lasts.
Now get low Lucite prices plus a free sanding kit from 3M.
Ryder rents trucks.
How they change, sweetheart.
Trucks you can count on. And Ryder tunes those trucks razor sharp, ready for anything. When Ryder rental trucks take off on a mission, there can only be one ending.
You're nervous, huh, kid? No.
Mission accomplished. Ryder, the best truck money can rent.
There's an afternoon of action as the NFL season opens on NBC. Start your day with NFL 79. Then see the Houston Oilers battle the Washington Redskins. Followed by great regional action with the Raiders-Rams game featured next Sunday on NBC.
Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 13. Steelers scored the first 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Cowboys won back but a missed extra point in the second period and now have scored again on a Staubach to Ron Springs pass. 8 yards for the score, capping a 45-yard drive. And a 1-point game with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Septien to kick it off. Anderson deep. The rookie from Temple for Pittsburgh stands at the 5.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to catch one yourself? Here it comes. You get a chance at home.
And you don't have to hear that thundering herd either.
You don't have to run it back.
Anderson, a defiant return to the 29. And if he had been able to break through that last line of white jerseys, he would have been long gone. Larry Bethea made the tackle for Dallas. There's the recap. 4.5-minute drive to the touchdown by the Cowboys. So when you start to check the question marks before cut time on Tuesday, got to figure Ron Springs gets a good report card tonight.
That's going to be hard, though. Lois Blackwell, and there might be a choice between those two. Had a fine game last week. Has not had a chance to see much action tonight.
Jack Delaplane, seeing his first duty, gets just a yard or two to the 31-yard line. Bruce Huther, and he's played a big game, 57 for Dallas.
Well, I think the Cowboys have to be tremendously impressed with that young man who's come in and just made one big hit right after another. And he's put the leather to him. There's no messing around. When he hit them, they were hit.
Free agent pick in 1977, and how well the Cowboys have done selecting players that have become stars through the years that no one else wanted. 2nd and 8. Bradshaw 6 for 10 tonight. Open. Smith first down at the 45. Jim Smith, who has the touchdown grab tonight, and that's his 4th catch of the evening to lead all receivers. Last year, 6 receptions, but 2 of them for touchdowns. 6'2" and 205 from the University of Michigan.
One of the big advantages that the Steelers have, and the Cowboys to a great extent too, they're so confident in their passing attack that they're not afraid to throw it on first down. They're not afraid to throw it out of their end zone. Tremendous to have that feeling about your receivers and the timing of your passing game.
That was Bradshaw's first completion, Merlin, of the second half. And he's right back to the air. Nice catch, and it was Smith again. First down at the 42. Aaron Mitchell made the tackle, number 34 for Dallas.
And there's a flag down over there. We've got a little pushing going on the side, and it looked to me like, one of the things, Dick, that Bradshaw does so well as you're looking over the shoulder of a man who would like to be out there playing, Tony Dorsett. One of the things that Bradshaw does, I think, better than any other quarterback in the league, when the ball is thrown with a defensive man on the back of the receiver, it will always be thrown down close to the ground. And you think it's by accident?
Defensive pass interference, number 34. First down.
It's not by accident. It happens too often. When the ball is thrown with the defender between the quarterback and the receiver, the ball is usually thrown high. And Stallworth and Swan do a better job than any 2 receivers around going up after the football. That's control. That's the kind of control Bradshaw has.
When the defender's behind the receiver, keep it low so he can't knock it away or hurt you when he tackles you. Almost intercepted. Guy Brown and Stallworth battling for that high pass, and there was the other example. He had men around him trying to throw it up where Stallworth could outleap the defense, but Brown was there with him.
You're watching yourself here as you see Bradshaw drop back, and Bradshaw waits until the last possible second. You got 2 people on top of him, gunned that ball hard and high, knowing that if it was low, a couple of defenders had a chance at it. Stallworth up high could not control the ball, but neither could the Dallas Cowboys get it.
Credit Larry Cole, 63, and Martin, 79, with pressure on Bradshaw. 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 42. 14-13 Steelers. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jack Delaplane from Salem of West Virginia inside the Dallas 40. Delaplane perhaps fighting for his Pittsburgh life tonight because the Steelers have 7 running backs still on that roster and probably will carry just 6. Delaplane, 5'10" and 205 in his 4th year. Some of the rap on Steve Furness, the defensive tackle.
Furness, a very talented performer, can play all 4 positions on that defensive line, and uniquely will change his stance from a right-handed to a left-handed stance as he goes from the right side to the left.
3rd down 7. Oh, look at this formation. Bradshaw, they anticipated the blitz. Open. Stallworth, perfect throw. They'll allow progress to the 26-yard line. Dennis Thurman, 32, made the tackle. Talk about a strike. He threw that one belt high right down the middle.
I talked to Terry Bradshaw's father the other day, and he was telling me that Terry showed the ability to throw early. In fact, wanted to throw so that he took him out in the yard, gave him a can to throw at, gave him a rock to begin with, then a baseball. Well, he looked like he was firing a baseball there, right into the hands of Stallworth. Beautiful, picture-perfect reception.
So the Steelers, on one of their patented long marches, have a first down at the Dallas 26. Final seconds of the third quarter. This will be the last play. Give it to the rookie Anderson, and he gets it after a yard gain. As the third quarter comes to an end here at Texas Stadium, we've got quite a ball game going. As we go to the final 15 minutes, the Steelers lead the Cowboys 14-13.
Last week, I went looking for a bargain on a muffler. So I go to a department store auto center. I said, get me out in under an hour. He says, what am I, Houdini? So I go to a muffler shop. I say, does that fit my car? He says, I'll make it fit. So I go to a gas station. I said, how about a guarantee in writing? He says, who's got time to write? Their idea of a bargain was no bargain. Midas gave me a good price and everything I wanted. It pays to Midasize.
One higher mileage. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gasoline mileage of the big three. Now Chrysler offers a $400 rebate. Make your best deal on these Chrysler and Plymouth cars, and Chrysler will top it with a $400 check sent directly to you. Get a Chrysler New Yorker, get a check. Get a Newport or Cordoba, get a check. Get a Chrysler LeBaron or a Plymouth Volare, and get a $400 check. Come to Chrysler Plymouth. Check it out.
Who do you share the power with? The power of Vitalis Super Hold, the pump.
With Tom every morning.
I share with Jill.
We share the power of the pump. Vitalis Super Hold. The pump keeps our hair looking terrific. Why should women settle for less power when they can get the holding power of the pump? It can hold longer than the leading men's aerosol. Come on. It's better when you share.
Get the pump, Vitalis Super Hold, and share the power.
The race for the 1980 Olympics has already begun. The games in Moscow are just the last lap of a long, grueling race that's going on right now. We've got the talent, but we need your support, because America doesn't send athletes to the Olympics, Americans do. Don't let our team get caught short. Send a contribution to U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1980C, Cathedral Station, Boston. For contributions of $25 or more, you'll receive this gold-plated medallion. This message sponsored by the U.S. Olympic Committee and NBC.
We'll give you that Olympic address after the first play. We open the fourth quarter. Dickenberg, Merlin Olsen, Texas Stadium. The Steelers lead the Cowboys 14-13. Second down and 8 as Bradshaw audibilizes. From the 25 of Dallas. On the run, open is Smith. Out of bounds at the 4. He was out of bounds. In fact, I thought he stepped out of bounds on the pass pattern, so that made him ineligible to come back into play to catch the ball. Let's watch on the route to see if he stepped out of bounds about the 10.
I felt the same way, Dick, and I think that's what the officials saw, too. We may not see it on the sideline, but he was toying with that sideline all the way down. He was inbounds when he caught that pass, so I'm sure you were accurate in calling it the way you did.
Right about in here, Smith, who was to the far sidelines, had stepped out, then came back into the field to play, caught the ball inbounds, but ruled out of bounds by the official. He becomes an ineligible receiver once he goes out of bounds. Now Bradshaw faces third down and 9 from the 25. Anderson and Delaplane behind him. They both stay in the block. Over the middle, Stallworth, incomplete. Broken up by Cliff Harris, and there's a match of a couple of outstanding athletes. Harris winning that play.
Harris certainly carrying some extra responsibility. Not only did they lose Charlie Waters, a fine safety, but Randy Hughes, who's an equally fine safety, was supposed to start in there tonight. He's got some fluid on his knee, so he's being rested, too. Puts a lot of pressure on the veteran Cliffy Harris.
So Matt Barr to try his first field goal since winning the job from Girella. This will be a 42-yard attempt. Colquitt to hold. High enough, long enough, no good. Wide to the right. So the Steelers are denied early in the fourth quarter. It remains Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 13.
What makes this great beer great? Many will tell you it's the ingredients, the select hops and grains, the fine barley malt. Some say it's all in the brewing or the purity of the water. Others insist it's the careful aging and the chill lagering. But every day, millions of times a day, America simply says, ah, Schlitz makes it great.
Good old Charlie, that's me. Somebody's got a dead battery and they call good old Charlie, and I jump-start 'em. Rain, snow, day, night. Well, this time I tell 'em, get your own Die-Hard.
The maintenance-free Die-Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't.
This is the last time.
Thank you, Charlie.
Oh, anytime.
The Die-Hard, sold only at Sears.
There's the address for your tax-deductible contribution to help our American Olympic athletes. U.S. Olympics, Post Office Box 1980C, Cathedral Station, Boston, Mass. 02118. Let's go back and look at that field goal try again.
Timing is so critical. Watch the snap. Should be out at the point of his hand. Back behind him a little bit on the knee. He's a little late getting it down. Barr may have been interrupted in his motion a little bit. It's tough. It's got to be perfect.
Did look like he hesitated just a bit. So Dallas, trailing by only a point, has the ball. Larry Brinson into the game for the first time. Takes it all the way to the 45. Jack Ham made the tackle. Brinson from Florida with 9.5 speed, and he almost took it all the way. 21-yard scamper by Brinson. So these athletes are making it really tough on their coaches. Everyone that goes in seems to play very well.
I think they know that the numbers are up there, and someone's got to go. And everybody's saying, hey, not me. Give me a chance. I'll show you what I can do.
Well, Barr knows he's won a job, but has to be disappointed that he missed that 42-yard field goal try. First down play to Springs. And he's near midfield. Crushed at the 49 of Dallas by Jack Lambert, the middle backer for the Steelers. Dallas operating behind that second unit line. Robert Shaw at center. Burton Lawless and Tom Randall at the guards. Andy Frederick and Richard Grimmett, a rookie free agent from Illinois, are at the tackles. And they're opening some holes. And they're playing against basically the first unit Pittsburgh defense. Greenwood and Banaszak the ends. Green and Purness the tackles. Ham, Lambert, and Taves the backers. Johnson and Blunt at the corners. Woodruff and Oldham at safety.
Whoa.
That one did not work. Infiltrating L.C. Greenwood from Arkansas A&M. He led the Steelers in sacks last year with 9. Larry Brinson didn't gain an inch.
And the ever-present number 59, Jack Ham, at the bottom of that stack, too. 51, Lauren Taves, going onto the field. This is the time in the ball game with the heat being what it is. You often get cramps. It's fortunate that we've had as much turnover in personnel tonight. We haven't seen anyone go down with that. Last week's game, you saw on NBC a number of players down with heat cramps.
Dallas trailing by a point, 14-13. A critical 3rd and 5 for Staubach out of the shotgun on a blitz. And he had to unload it. Butch Johnson covered by Ron Johnson, incomplete. So Staubach had no choice but to dump it off and hope that he might connect, and Dallas's drive ends. Danny White in to punt it away. Plenty of time left, 12.5 minutes. Bradshaw anticipating his return. Unusual that Chuck Noll announced tonight that Bradshaw would play the entire game.
Doesn't usually do that before the game, although if Bradshaw wants to go a whole game late in the preseason, he'll let him do it. But again, the emphasis, the unspoken emphasis on this game.
7th punt by White to match the 7 by Colquitt. And will it be down? Yes! Covered after Benny Barnes flipped it back. Covered by number 64 of the Cowboys, Tom Rafferty, and it's Pittsburgh starting from their own 5. So Dallas outplaying Pittsburgh in the second half as the Steelers enjoyed a good first half. 14-13, Super Bowl champs lead it.
One higher mileage, Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gasoline mileage of the big 3. Now Chrysler offers a $400 rebate. Make your best deal on these Dodge cars, trucks, and vans, and Chrysler will send you a $400 check. Get a Dodge Diplomat, get a check. Get a St. Regis, get a check. Get a Magnum, get an Aspen, get a Dodge van, or a full-sized pickup. And get a $400 check. Check it out at Dodge.
You are looking at a very special place.
the Bell Systems Network Operations Center in Bedminster, New Jersey. Here's where we watch the flow of nearly 40 million long-distance calls a day. If a bottleneck does develop, computer technology helps us reroute the traffic and get your call through.
Take your St. Louis traffic via Sacramento.
The Network Operations Center, helping to get your long-distance calls through quickly and easily.
The Bell System, keeping your communication system the best in the world.
Join Bert Parks and Marianne Mobley live from Atlantic City for the exciting Miss America pageant, Saturday, September 8th on NBC.
Benny Barnes, beautiful heads-up play as he knows exactly where that goal line is, goes into the air, taps the ball back over his shoulder before he steps into the end zone. Rafferty there to recover it, pinning the Steelers down.
Now Bradshaw started once at his own 1 after an interception. Now has it at his 5, leading 14-13 and throwing from his own end zone. Looking for Bell. Incomplete. Covered well by the rookie Mitchell, number 34. Other scores of preseason action tonight. The Cardinals, who will host Dallas in the first game a week from tomorrow, beat the Bears 10-7. That's Chicago's first loss of the preseason. In the battle for New York bragging rights, the Jets defeated the Giants tonight 14-6. Tampa Bay has beaten Cincinnati 24-13. Buccaneers showing a very good defense all summer. Third quarter, Green Bay ahead of Atlanta 31-14. Atlanta's had its troubles this summer. So has Buffalo, as Oakland leads the Bills 28-14 in the third quarter. And the Rams at halftime 10-7 over San Diego. Here 14-13 Pittsburgh. Big ball. And Anderson shot through. They've nicknamed him Frenchie because he's wearing Fuqua's old number 33, and he looks a little bit like the former running back for the Steelers.
Well, again, we refer to some of the names that will be mulled over as to who's going to make that cut. His is one that is on the borderline, and he looks like he's got a little extra adrenaline out there tonight.
Butch Johnson has suffered a fractured little finger and out for the rest of this game. I'll have that taped up, and I would guess he'll be ready for St. Louis a week from Sunday. First down for Anderson, and that was a key run for the Steelers to the 11. Or the 16, rather. Bradshaw to Cunningham. 35-40. The biggest tight end in the NFL. Benny Cunningham, 6'5" and 247. Talk about a target.
Well, and again, you see the maturity of Terry Bradshaw. With that powerful arm, play action pass, gets back, gets a little time. Watch him. Lofts the ball over the defender. Drops it perfectly between the two defenders. Puts it right in the hand of the big tight end. And as big as he is, unless that ball is thrown properly, it's either an incompletion or an interception.
And Bradshaw that was like one of those dart throws where you just lob the dart up there and hope you can drop it into the bullseye. And he
right
did.
On the money.
First catch for Cunningham tonight. Bradshaw taking to the air. Dumps it out to Anderson. 40, 45. He's got some speed all the way to the 48. And that's close to another first down. Bob Bronick, 53, pushed him out of bounds. And Bradshaw with a hot pitching arm here in the fourth quarter. 10:49 left in the game. Pittsburgh, after leading 14-0, now with just a 1-point lead at 14-13. Yeah, looking to last night, Miami went through the summer unbeaten. Don Shula's club, 4-0. How about Seattle? They were at 55-0 at one time against the 49ers before beating San Francisco 55-20 last evening.
Rather remarkable franchise growing up so quickly in Seattle.
Flags are down. Intercepted by Harris. 30. And to the 38 goes Cliff Harris. Check the flag. I believe it was against the Steelers.
Looked like a holding penalty against one of the Steeler linemen. I'm sure it'll be declined. Dallas will have the ball down on the 38-yard line, Dick.
Offensive holding refused.
Well, Bradshaw had the Steelers on the move from his own 5, but Cliff Harris picks it off. And now the Cowboys, trailing by 1, have the ball at the 38. Here it is again.
Cowboy defense rising to the occasion, getting some pressure on Bradshaw, and an outstanding play by Cliff Harris. Ball overthrown. Harris did a good job of going up and bringing it down, and then got some yardage after the fact. Now the pressure falls back on the shoulders of the Pittsburgh defense. Let's see if they can shut the Cowboy offense down.
Staubach facing a couple of safeties. not the starters for the Steelers. Oldham and the rookie Woodruff playing in that back line. Open is Pearson. First down at the 45. Tackled by Oldham, 25. Drew Pearson, what an athlete. He's one of the stars of the Cowboy basketball team. They were something like 35-3 during the winter. Pearson and Tony Hill were the guards. They had two tall playing center, and Salty and Dupree were the forwards. He said no one got inside.
That's rather a physical game. That's a big 17-yard gain for the Cowboys as they move into Steeler territory, and a bad combination for the Steelers on that one. Time to throw and room to get open, and of course Staubach took advantage of it.
Trailing 14-13, Dallas first down at the Pittsburgh 45, and Staubach pumps, screens at the Springs, has blockers, 40 and to the 38. And what a job by Robin Cole. He must have taken care of 3 blockers to ruin that screen.
Great job also by Jack Lambert, who was fighting off the blocks. The 2 linebackers responsible for stopping what could have been a very big play.
It's set up well. They had 3 blockers against 2 linebackers, but short yardage.
And one of the things that Staubach does so well is to call his plays intelligently. He also did a good job of play acting on that, as he gave the young rookie time to get out there, quickly dropped it off to him, and without the great play of the 2 linebackers, it would have gone for very big yardage.
7 yards even at that. 2nd and 3. Brinson, no gain. Robin Cole again, 56 for the Steelers. 6'2" and 220 pounds of outside linebacker from the University of New Mexico.
We talked about the respect that these 2 teams have for each other. Danny Reeves, coach for the Dallas Cowboys, commenting about the game, he said, one thing you know about Pittsburgh, they don't take any prisoners. They get right after you.
That was a line from Dwight White. I take no prisoners. That's been so true. It's interesting, one of the columnists here compared the finesse Cowboys against the physical Steelers. Doesn't seem to be too much finesse.
No. The Cowboys are no longer a finesse team. That was true at one time. They're a very physical football team these days.
3rd and 3. Trouble. Oh! The rookie, Dwayne Woodruff, 6th round draft out of Louisville, and he may well have made this team. He's played very well all summer at a sure interception.
I think the reason they traded away Tony Dungy was because of that young man. Let's watch the pressure being applied to Staubach by number 56, Cole. That spring right there, and Cole just strips him aside, goes right after Staubach. Watch what he delivers when he gets there. Didn't try to hurt him, just let him know he was around.
Just making sure he didn't have a loose wallet in there.
That's right. Just checking him out. Got to be very careful when you're on top of a quarterback like that, though. You give him a little extra shot, and you got 15 yards marched off in a hurry.
Out of field goal range in a 1-point game. Danny White will try to pin the Steelers deep, and the Steelers don't think he's going to kick it. They don't have anyone back. Aims it for the sidelines. Look at that, Barnes. Look at Barnes. Oh, he fell down. But, it goes in the end zone. Benny Barnes, like an outfielder, staggering under a windblown pop fly.
They wanted to make it a little too good, I think.
So first down, Pittsburgh on the touchback at the 20. Will return with the Steelers in front, 14-13.
These are the blueprints for an automotive revolution. This is the J.C. Penney shock absorber. Its unique patented metering pin adjusts the ride automatically while you drive. So you get the control of heavy-duty shocks when the going gets rough, and the ride of original equipment shocks when the road is smooth. And if it ever fails, return it. We'll replace it free for as long as you own your car. The J.C. Penney shock absorber. It's the last shock absorber your car will ever need.
I've got something here you're really gonna love. Trust me, trust me. It's new Wonder Bond glue. With Wonder Bond, you can glue glass, china, plastic, or metal in just seconds. And 1 drop of Wonder Bond is strong enough to hold up to 5,000 pounds. You still don't trust me? Then trust this. It's from Elmer's. Stick with a name you can trust. New Elmer's Wonder Bond.
On NBC Sports World, inmate James Scott puts his undefeated record on the line against Italian light heavyweight champ Eno Cometti, live from Rahway State Prison. Plus, taped coverage of the Clark Trenton 150 auto race, all on Sports World tomorrow.
Well, after the punters do the physical job, then they become the emotional cheerleaders. Danny White, reaction after that ball was not, oh, come on, I didn't do any better than that.
He put it right on the money, and Wade Manning actually was the guy down there to bat it back, and it had that ball taken a Cowboy spin, it would have been right back tied into that end zone again. As it is, the Steelers get a break, get it out on the 20-yard line.
Bradshaw must feel like he's out in the fresh air all the way to the 20.
Lots of breathing room.
14-13 Pittsburgh. The rookie Anderson. Oh, 25, 30, 35. Did he put a move on?
Yeah, we've got a holding penalty on 72 Jerry Mullins, though, as the official quickly threw the flag, and that's all going to be for naught, unfortunately.
But Mr. Anthony Anderson showing some quickness.
Maybe you get a chance to see that holding penalty inside. Watch number 72 right there. That's 76 Bethea. He just got a hook on his arm there. You saw it right there. Anderson showing great acceleration to the outside. Barnes coming up. Good block right there to spring him. Good balance by the young rookie. Why, you can see why people are hoping he'll be cut. A couple of guys here saying, please, I'd like to take him home with me.
Yes, and head coach is salivating just at the thought that kid can play. He was a free agent picked by Pittsburgh. So half the distance on the foul. Actually, they get the full 10. First down 20 at the Pittsburgh 10. And Bradshaw says, now I got Cowboys right where I want them. That's a scramble, apparently a blown play, and Bradshaw ducking for cover. Thomas Henderson ran him out of bounds. May have gotten a yard. It'll be 2nd and 19.
That almost looked too quick for a blown play. Maybe Bradshaw thought he was going to run that one, but then he realized how many white shirts were tracking him and decided that the best place was out of bounds. You see the rushing by Staubach, Bradshaw, both productive. Staubach extremely productive. A lot of that out of the shotgun, and one of the reasons that they had such a high ratio of conversions on 3rd down into 1st down.
And he's used one of those scramble passes for a touchdown to Ron Springs tonight. Dallas defense very loose in the secondary. Up the middle to the 16-yard line goes Rick Moser from Rhode Island, his 2nd year, 6 feet and 210 pounds. He was twice an academic All-American Division II and a good blocker. Injured.
We've got somebody on the ground.
Henderson is down. Hollywood Henderson. Self-quoted, I'm long on confidence.
Landry says that he seems to play best when he has set the stage by telling everyone how great he's going to play and then going out and apparently trying to back it up. See if we can't see how he got hurt in there. 56 is Henderson to be right in the middle of the action. Looks like someone's right into his legs there. Perhaps a hip or hopefully not a leg. Didn't look good the way he's got a hold of his hand going down.
Thomas Henderson injured, and you know there's considerable concern about his well-being, although the way they're rubbing, that's usually a good sign. If it's something bad, they don't usually jerk around, although that left knee, the way the doctor is holding it, doesn't look good, does it?
Well, let's just hope it's not a serious injury.
A reminder, it all begins a week from tomorrow, the National Football League openers, and we hope you'll join us beginning at 12:30. Brian Gumbel, Mike Adamle, well, they did a great job in their pregame shows last year. They'll be back with us again this year. Houston, Washington, Miami at Buffalo, front end. There's some of the second half of the doubleheader.
Henderson's up. And you hear his fans saying with relief. He's still a little shaky, but he'll be all right.
Remember when he first came up, and they used him, some of those reverses on the kickoffs. They'd line him up on the outside and slip him back, and he'd take a handoff. And, well, with his speed at 9.7 speed and a linebacker, learned in a hurry to respect where he was on the field.
Great ability to pursue, too, and certainly one of the marks of great defense is having those linebackers and linemen who will come full speed across that field with you.
Midway through the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh in a pass situation leading by 1, 14-13. Bradshaw from his own 8-yard line down the field to Cunningham. No flag. Yeah, there's the flag. It appeared that Cunningham was hit before the ball arrived as Harris and Guy Brown, 59, double teaming the big tight end.
Cunningham showing great speed on that play and caught the ball earlier in traffic. Looked like he was hit not just once but twice on that particular play. Bradshaw back, has a lot of time. Stunning in the defensive line for Dallas. They don't get anywhere near him. Let's see if you can see the bump. There's one right there. They're all over the top of him. No question about it. Excellent call by the official. Watch Cunningham come up. He said,
They know. So at the 50-yard line, a first down for Pittsburgh. A key penalty, but obviously a correct call. 33 yards on the play. With 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. Bradshaw going for the bomb. He's got a man there. And what a save by Aaron Kyle. Intended for John Stallworth. Kyle made the play.
John Stallworth again showing tremendous speed down the field. He's just running down toward the post. The ball hangs a little bit on Bradshaw. Stallworth eases up a little bit. Kyle makes up some ground. Look at him coming in there. Reaches up and bats it away cleanly. I don't think Stallworth even saw Kyle coming in. His concentration is so complete on that football. But Kyle able to get his hand on it, knock it away. Fine defensive play.
And Maryland, you talk about all the qualities of the fine receiver, but one you can't often measure until you see a guy like Stallworth in replay is how well they run while looking back for the ball. That is not easy to do. He's at full gear and with his head turned back toward that quarterback.
And still running just effortlessly.
2nd and 10 from midfield. Bradshaw going to unload again. Got a man wide open, Stallworth, but he can't see him, and Bradshaw out of bounds at the 42. Stallworth on the far side of the field down at the 10-yard line all by himself, but of course that was the last place Bradshaw had a chance to look.
Get an idea of how open Stallworth was. You see him right there, but Bradshaw kind of scrambling for his life. Didn't have time to look up. Had he been able to, spelled some points for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Stallworth, though, they're saying we're number one, but get me the ball.
Yeah. Pittsburgh offensive line doing an excellent job, and Bradshaw again showing his quickness and his ability to move around when he has to. Side slipped a couple of rushers and then just pulled it out of there and picked up about 7 yards.
And almost 8. Let's call it 3rd and 2. Cowboy 42. Inside handoff to Delaplane, and he has the first down at the 39-yard line before Bethea and Bruni can make the tackle for Dallas. And the clock continues to run now to stop. 7:01 remaining in the game. Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 13. Oh, Bradshaw has another 4 downs to work with. Well, you know, on Thanksgiving Day, a network, NBC, will have Houston and Dallas from here at Texas Stadium. Game is already sold out.
You better believe that there'll be a little thumping going on in that one. I think we might have to arrange to take our turkey with us on that one.
Little draw to 39 Mosier, and look at him lurch forward to the 30-yard line. Nearly a 9-yard pickup for Mosier. I wonder if Chuck Knoll's son was at all involved in scouting Mosier. He's a student at Rhode Island and may have seen Mosier and told his daddy, hey, you better take a look at this kid. 6 feet, 210, good blocker.
Mosier really made this team with his play on special teams. And he's been one of their most valuable. But he kind of glanced back at the sideline to the coaches as if to say, is my name on that list? I hope not.
Boy, what a tough cut that's going to be for these two teams.
Brutal.
To whittle 5 off by Tuesday. 2nd and a long 1 at the 30. Mosier again powers his way to the first down at the 27. Right over Mike Calhoun, a rookie from Notre Dame, a 10-round draft, number 92. It's interesting, you know, some teams seem to have a penchant for picking players from a certain team. And Notre Dame, of course, with its great success through the years, has plenty of former Irish stars on all the NFL rosters, but not Dallas. Dallas in its entire 20 years has had only 2 Notre Dame players, and that's if Calhoun makes the club. The other one was quarterback Bob Dulden, who played rarely back in '69 and '70 for Dallas. That's the only other Notre Dame player. Ooh, Anderson, and somebody missed a block. Benny Barnes read a key, and the safety man greeted Anderson in his own backfield. Noel said, we're going to have to look at that one on the film.
You'll get a chance to look at it again right here. 53 Brunig up quickly from the inside. There's no way to get that middle linebacker when he can read it that quickly. Barnes up from the outside, and they just sandwiched Anderson in between them. One individual we haven't given a pat on the back who deserves one tonight, Sam Davis, a 13-year veteran, has done an excellent job on probably the quickest and toughest defensive tackle in football, Randy White. Randy hasn't had the kind of game tonight that a lot of people expect him to have, and let's give Sam a little bit of credit down there.
Moser down to the 25-yard line. A pickup of about 8 brings up 3rd down and 8. D.D. Lewis made the tackle. Is Sam Davis, the veteran left guard, number 57. Interestingly, he works for a company that has 57 varieties.
And just as if on cue, watch number 57 blocking on Randy White, number 54, gets the inside, gets a little push off, a little help from Cobb. And, of course, Moser able to get by, slip through, get to the outside, make about, at least a few yards. Anyway, going to be 3rd and long. Bradshaw may have to go to the air.
Clock running, 3:47, 3:46, 3:45 left. A big 3rd down throw. Incomplete. Harris again, the man on the spot, breaks it out of the grasp of Stallworth, and Kyle appeared to be injured on the play. But Cliff Harris, the all-pro safety of the Cowboys, made another big defensive play. That looks more like a cramp, doesn't it? In the back of the leg.
It might be. Looks like it might be. We talked about that. The heat and the humidity. A lot of fluids, night like tonight, not uncommon for some of the bigger players to lose as much as 20 pounds, maybe more than 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
Yes, in spite of the fact that they'll be taking tremendous amounts of fluid on the sideline. We also had a penalty on that last play, Dick. We'll have to see what that is. Watch Stallworth as he gets downfield. Harris getting good position, reading the play well, reading the quarterback well, flying to the inside, and actually colliding just as the ball arrived. That's a beautiful play by the safety, Cliffy Harris.
Offensive holding, number 72.
Play that in slow motion again, just to show the muscular action of John Stallworth. And you see Kyle cramped up, and he leaves the game. But Stallworth in slow motion, you get the appreciation of how limber and loose those athletes must be as they made the... Watch the leg muscles of Stallworth.
You see the quick stop here. You see the working of the feet on this turf. It's no wonder. And then when we talked about the injury, to the foot injury, the toe injury to Tony Dorsett, on a grass field, not a serious thing. On this turf, because of the stop and go and the wear and tear, and this is a hard turf on the athletes. It takes, I think, at least 10% off the life expectancy of the athlete to play week in and week out on the artificial turf.
3:39 left in the game. 14-13 Pittsburgh. 3rd down and long for the Steelers. 18 to go for a 1st down. Bradshaw, Randy White, and Larry Bethea sandwich Bradshaw at the 42-yard line.
That's the first sack of the night, and really much of the credit for that sack has to go to Harvey Martin. They ran a stunt on that side. Martin came in, locked up both the tackle and the guard. White, with his quickness, able to get outside. Watch it on the other side. Watch White go around to the outside now. Harvey's going to come in and grab a hold of Davis. He's got 3 people locked up. Now watch White come from the backside. Beautiful sack, but they are also in on that. A nice sandwich, and Bradshaw goes down.
Nice camera coverage, guys. And time is called by the Steelers. They didn't have 11 men on the field. So a little mix-up on the special teams, and Pittsburgh uses a timeout with 3:12 left, and that's a break for Dallas because it stops the clock, and the Cowboys don't have to use the timeout. You know that man isn't happy about that mistake. He is in charge of the special teams. Chuck Noll takes that responsibility himself, and Cunningham was the man late getting on the field, and he's getting his ears blistered.
Chuck Noll is a stickler he wants perfection. And one of the things that I am impressed with Noel as well as with Landry, the tremendous respect with which he is held not only by his players but also by his assistant coaches. And both of these gentlemen have gone about gathering around them intelligent football people. And they go as much for intelligence in the draft of their athletes as they do for physical ability. And it pays off, as you can see in the kind of performance that Dallas and Pittsburgh have over the years.
Colquitt with Manning at the other end. May not get a chance to return that one. Into the end zone. So with 3:03 left in the game, it appears it'll boil down to the Cowboys 80 yards away from perhaps a winning field goal. We'll be right back.
Who's America's greatest band leader?
America's greatest band leader is Spidell. Spidell. America's greatest band leader is Spidell. Spidell.
America's newest band leader is Fiesta, a bracelet for your watch. It will make your new watch look lovely, and any watch look fashionable.
America's greatest band leader is Spidell. Spidell.
One higher mileage. Chrysler Corporation is #1 in gasoline mileage of the big three. Now Chrysler offers a $400 rebate. Make your best deal on these Chrysler and Plymouth cars, and Chrysler will top it with a $400 check sent directly to you. Get a Chrysler New Yorker, get a check. Get a Newport or Cordoba, get a check. Get a Chrysler LeBaron or a Plymouth Volare, and get a $400 check. Come to Chrysler Plymouth. Check it out.
With Merlin Olsen, Dick Enberg at Texas Stadium, sellout crowd is 65,000. And the Dallas fans now know that the definition for the offense in Staubach is to get within range of a winning field goal. Dallas trails 14-13, 3 minutes left. Youngsters Brinson and Springs behind Staubach. Dupree in motion. Dupree. Nice tackle made by Ray Oldham from Middle Tennessee State. Had a chance to visit there during the basketball season, Murfreesboro. During the basketball year, Ray Oldham, pride and joy. 8th round pick by Baltimore back in '73. He may be one of those that be on the open market on Tuesday. He's certainly one fighting for a job with the Steelers tonight.
He may well be a veteran football player with tremendous heart to give you everything he's got out there.
Clock running, 2:29, 2:28. Short yardage, 2nd down, 4 after that 6-yard gain.
2:29.
Staubach in trouble. 67, Gary Dunn on his back along with John Banaszak. 2:13. Will Dallas spend a timeout here? The 2-minute warning coming up to stop the clock again. And apparently, at least for the moment, clock stopped. Now it's running. That was just to allow the quarterback to get himself back in the huddle.
Landry showing us confidence in his youngsters, and a lot of them aren't youngsters because Dallas and Pittsburgh both are teams that believe in players serving an apprenticeship, preparing themselves for play as veterans.
If it is a regular season game, they might have hurried and gotten to play off there. They don't. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Pittsburgh leads by 1.
A Super Bowl Steeler is tough to beat. But against the Steeler, I can't compete.
When a Steeler gets hit, it's got the guts to bounce back.
You turkey.
Uniroyal presents the Steeler Radial. It's built tough with 2 steel belts, and it's tough to beat from about $45.
To get to this year's Super Bowl, I'll just surround myself with 4 tough Steelers.
The Uniroyal Steeler. You want a tough tire at a price that's fair? You want Uniroyal there.
Well done, lads. Now to quench our thirst. No name. I'm Robin Hood, a swashbuckling hero. I don't want beer. I want something special. Bull. Bull? The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. It's a special premium brew that's in a class by itself. What noble taste.
Robin, my son, how about a little game of bumper pool?
If you want to change of pace with a big, bold taste, don't say beer, say Bull. Oh, the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 13. It's 3rd down and 6 for the Cowboys at their own 24-yard line. 2 minutes remaining. Dallas will open on the road at St. Louis a week from tomorrow, and so will the Steelers. They'll be away from home at New England for their first game a week. Or that'll be a Monday night game a week away.
And we certainly can learn to respect the value of those extra points. Looking back over this game, the difference after almost 60 minutes of play, that one hooked extra point early in the contest.
Under the blitz, Staubach throwing and missing Preston Pearson. As Lambert and Cole were putting pressure on Staubach, he had to unload. So with 4th down and 6 facing the Cowboys, do you punt it with 1:56 left, or you go for the first down? They're going to punt it away. They have just 2 timeouts left. Remember, they had to spend one earlier in the half. Interesting, the punting story tonight. Both White and Colquitt have kicked 8 times. White 43.9 average and Colquitt 43.3.
Even though they've kicked very closely together on average, I think White has kicked much more effectively because he's controlled the ball better. He's dropped it inside near the end zone, and they've pinned Pittsburgh down several times. Colquitt has kicked well, but not with the control that White has had.
Flat kick. Smith at the 43. Boy, he risks a fumble. Tackled immediately. Salty downfield along with Benny Barnes, 31. Barnes, such a good all-around player. Asset on the special teams for Dallas. He's always around the ball.
What tremendous endurance he must have, too, to be the first man down on all of those kicks and to be out there on every play defensively. And he has not had much rest. They're running very thin in defensive backs. And you see him out on the field now. He and Harris, Brunig, a lot of the first team defensive backs and linemen now out on the field. They'd like to get a break, take the football away from Pittsburgh here, maybe get their field goal anyway. There's plenty of time left in this game, Dick.
And Barnes, another free agent pick by Dallas out of Stanford. Bradshaw to Anderson. A gain of a yard. Dallas will call time. 1:43 left in the game. Dallas has 1 timeout left. They must stop Pittsburgh without getting a first down. The Steelers get a first down, the game's over.
Well, certainly that's not an easy thing to do with the kind of flexibility that Pittsburgh has shown tonight. Running the ball better than they had early in the year, and certainly the passing and the receiving of Pittsburgh has been outstanding.
You know, you have to wonder, back when Bradshaw was a senior in college in '70, there was a coin flip between the Steelers and the Chicago Bears to see who would get the first player picked in the draft. The Steelers won the toss and took Bradshaw. The Bears then selected Bobby Douglas. And you just wonder, if you reverse those 2 picks, what that might have done to the Bears franchise if Bradshaw and Walter Payton were teaming up there at Soldier Field this year.
Of course, it's interesting also to think of what would have happened to Bradshaw had he not come to a team with patience. His early years were frustrating years, and had he gone to a team that did not give him an opportunity to come along, he may not have been the quarterback today that he is.
Good point. Inside handoff to Mosher, and he gets out to the 45. Dallas strips the ball away, but after the whistle. Now somebody hooked in there, and the ever-present Cliff Harris right there to pick off the loose football just in case.
Well, these are veteran teams, and they know how to shake that football loose. They also know how to kill that clock, but they've just used their last timeout. Minute 21, they've got to stop them on this 3rd down situation and then hope that they can get in and perhaps block a punt or get a great return from Manning.
Ray Oldham, one of the few that says hi, Dad, and hi, Mom.
That's great.
Fathers will have to applaud that. Usually it's the moms that are acknowledged. Nothing wrong with that either. All right, 3rd down and 7. 1 minute left.
Webster just leaned back and asked what the snap was.
Bradshaw going for the money. Smith. Oh, 1/2 step short of a clean connection to Jim Smith.
Got to wonder if maybe it was a little cooler out there tonight. He might have had enough left to reach out there a little bit further and hang on to that one.
He looked like an 800-meter runner dying at the tape. Bradshaw's
Look at him
under
smiling.
50%.
Yeah, look at him smiling though. That's he has had a mediocre night in terms of percentage, but has certainly thrown some beautiful passes and has done what he wanted to do. He put the ball out there. He's got some points on the board, and I think he's ready for the season.
That was a preseason call, though. In the regular season, he wouldn't have thrown that ball with a 1-point lead. That's going to give Dallas a chance. Wade Manning to the 25 to 27, and he's been electrifying tonight. 60-yard punt return in the first half that set up a Dallas score. 39 seconds left for the Cowboys after that 43-yard punt. Dallas, I believe, has one timeout left.
Did they have any left? I thought they'd used one earlier, Dick.
They're going to have to wait. That is just my feeling, and that is not official.
if they've got one, we'll probably see it here pretty quick.
From the 27, trailing by 1. And certainly Staubach, a couple of long completions could be in field goal range. Septien's longest ever is 48. Complete. Drew Pearson tiptoeing on the sidelines. Just stays in bounds at the 45.
We've seen Roger Staubach throw some amazing passes, and he puts this one absolutely perfectly on the money. An inch or two lower, it's knocked away. A little bit higher, it goes over the top. As it is, Pearson steps out, picks up 19 yards. 33 seconds left to go. It's not over yet.
6 seconds for 19 yards for the Cowboys. And listen to these Dallas fans. The Cowboys do have one timeout left. Staubach. Intended for Hill. He drew 5 black jerseyed Steelers. Anderson, Cole, Winston, Woodruff, and Blunt.
And you notice he's having to throw to the sideline, wants to be able to let that receiver step out of bounds and kill that clock. Steelers going with a 3-man rush, putting the backs back, and of course they'll let him have a short pass, but they can't let him have too much. They don't want to get him into field goal range. Clock ticks down to 28 seconds. Still quite a bit of time, and Staubach won't panic. One of the tremendous assets he has as a leader is the kind of cool that he exhibits in the end of this kind of a game. And you look at him, you think it's early in the ballgame. He's just doing his thing.
37-year-old Staubach in the shotgun, 2nd and 10. Great protection. Ron Springs, no. Tony Hill. Hill at the 40 of Pittsburgh. Dallas going to run a play without a huddle, 17-16. Now Staubach calls time with 15. Staubach could see he wasn't going to get his team set in time, so he wisely used his last time out.
Get an isolated view of Tony Hill as he works to get open. He gets the single chuck allowed, and a little extra from Ron Johnson. Breaks downfield. Now watch him. He'll cut back to the sideline. Johnson doing an excellent job of shadowing him. But again, the ball beautifully on target, and he hangs on. The mark of a great receiver. Enough for the first down. Well, I tell you, they don't need much more, and they'll be inside of field goal range. But now all the timeouts are gone. I think what confused us early, it looked like the Cowboys had called a timeout in the 3rd quarter. But you remember when Landry was so upset about, I think the officials had called a timeout, and then Staubach had questioned something, and they motioned that there was a timeout on Dallas. They must not have assessed the timeout against Dallas, because we saw 2 called defensively.
15 seconds left for Tom Landry and Roger Staubach. Landry calls the plays, but in this situation, it really is Staubach's baby. He's got time for really 3 plays if 2 of the passes are incomplete. But he must work out a way that whenever they get the field goal unit on, the clock is stopped. But if it's on a completion and the clock running, they could never do it. 14-13, the Steelers and the Cowboys with a final preseason treat. And the 2 top quarterbacks in the league last year have done rather nicely tonight. Thank you. Got to figure sidelines here or the bomb. Sideline. Ooh. Trying to thread it to number 20, Ron Springs. Touchdown earlier, the rookie from Ohio State. That used 4 seconds.
Lauren Taves right on Springs' back, showing excellent speed, staying with the young halfback. Staubach, I think, knowing there was no room. I think he gunned it for a possibility that it would be a great catch on the sideline, but if it wasn't, he lost only 4 seconds. He's got a couple more shots.
Figure Roger has to get the ball inside the 30 with a timeout, and that would be in Septien's range. Kicked several over 50 in college, but his longest as a pro is 48. 2nd and 10. This is the key play. To Pearson. He's inside the 30. 6 seconds left, and here comes Septien and the field goal unit. It's all up to this young man from Mexico City. Never saw football, much less a game, when he went to college at Southwest Louisiana. He missed an extra point earlier. This one would be from the 37-yard line, a 47-yard attempt. That's right at his far end of the range. He's been brilliant inside the 40, but only average outside the 40.
Waters is the usual holder, but with Charlie Waters out, Bob Steele, backup receiver, doing the honors for Septien
to win the game. You think they didn't want to win this game tonight? The Cowboys, with 2 seconds left, have taken the lead 16-14. $65,000. And you couldn't have written that script any better, the way that the Cowboys moved the ball just into field goal range.
We can't even do it that well on Little House on the Prairie, Dick. Septien. Now, you want to watch the reaction of a happy young man? Look at him as he watches that ball sail through those uprights. Now, he's going to turn around and sprint off the field. It looks like he wasn't even going to give him a chance to congratulate him. He was halfway into the locker room. As you see those hands go in the air, Septien will kick again, but there won't be many kicks that will be as pressure-packed as that one was for that young man from Mexico City. And I'm sure that Putin Ben Agajanian, who's his kicking coach, was over rejoicing with him on the sideline all the way through that one.
So this is the final play unless there's a penalty. Clock starts now. The game is over. Now it's up to the Cowboys to get Jack Delaplane, who returns it to the 50. The ball game is over. And what a way to warm up to the new season. A week from now, this game will be totally forgotten. But tonight, the Cowboys have won back a little pride. Tom Landry has defeated the Super Bowl kings, the Steelers, 16-14.
Well, they said that it was just another preseason game. They played it with great enthusiasm, some mistakes, and again, you couldn't have asked for a better way to finish it off.
You close out in Hartford and Washington and Los Angeles. We're ready to go to Broadway. A week from tomorrow, the 16-game season begins. You saw the two teams that the experts say are the best in their respective conferences. Pittsburgh in the AFC, Dallas in the NFC, and the Cowboys on the next to last play of the game win it on Septien's field goal. Stay tuned for NBC's Saturday Night Live after the local news on most of these stations, all right here on NBC.
Promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. United's building the largest airline in the world around you. Fly the friendly skies.
People willing to give. It's Pittsburgh National Bank.